Darkness falls across the land. The midnight hour is close at hand. Creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize y'all's neighborhood. And whosoever shall be found without the soul for getting down must stand and face the hounds of hell and rot inside a corpse's shell. The demons squeal in sheer delight. It's you they spy, so plump, so right. For though the groove is hard to beat, yet still you stand with frozen feet. You try to run, you try to scream, but no more sun you'll ever see. For evil reaches from the crypt to crush you in its icy grip. The foulest stench is in the air, the funk of 40,000 years, and grisly ghouls from every tomb are closing in to seal your doom. And though you fight to stay alive, your body starts to shiver, for no mere mortal can resist the evil of the thriller. Can you dig it?
Good evening, guys and gals. How are y'all doing out there tonight? It's me, Carolyn, with Carolyn's Corner After Hours. You notice I got it kind of dark and spooky in here. That's because we're going to be continuing our hour episodes on paranormal stories. And we were going to continue it on Monday at the regular radio show, but unfortunately I was in a lot of pain. I wasn't able to do the show, and first time I've ever missed it, and boy, did I ever miss it. I always miss all of you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, right now we have Miss Liliana on here. She has some more stories for us as well. We're waiting for 2 more guests to come on. I'm about to bring Liliana on. Remember, we would love to see you interact with us. You can message us directly on the Facebook page or on the YouTube channel. So we're coming to you live on the Carolyn's Corner Facebook and on the YouTube. So you can chat with either one of those, and hopefully we'll see it, and hopefully we should be able to respond. So with that being said, welcome to all of you, and I'm excited to get this show started. I'm waiting for 2 more guests to come on, but if not, me and Liliana will just, Liliana, I don't know why I said Liliana. All right, I'm going to go ahead and bring Liliana on here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's welcome her. Here we go. Where'd she go?
I'm here.
Okay, for some reason, you're not showing up on my screen. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know why. It's always got to be something, right?
Always something.
I'm okay. I'm working okay. I'm getting a live feed. Okay, hold on, Lily. I don't know why. Well, I can bring you on by
I'm
yourself.
Here. I'm here.
Hold on. There we go. Oh, wait. Let me take that off the background. I think that's what I did wrong. I'm learning, guys. I am technologically challenged, as you all know.
We learn as we go.
I'm learning as I go, and I've got a really scary background back there. You know what? Maybe I'll just leave it there since I don't really know.
Well, it fits anyway. It fits the theme anyway.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't know why it's not showing my, there we go. Now we're good, Liliana. I got you. Okay, I'm learning, like I said. Do you think I should turn my light back up to normal? I'm pretty dark. I want it to be dark because of the scary stuff, but I don't want to be so dark.
Oh, no. I was going to say, I can turn mine off. Let me see if I can.
I think I'm going to mess it up here.
It's a work in progress. We got this.
You know what? I might just stay dark. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Carolyn's Corner After Hours. Boy, I'm glowing all kinds of different colors. I'm trying to find the right. I want to be white. I guess the white light.
Oh, Lord.
There's a lot of different colors.
Oh, that one's
there we go. How's that? Is that too bright? That's really bright.
That looks good. I wanted mine not so bright.
Yeah, I know. Me too. But the blue, I had it on blue, and it's just too blue. Am I blue? And it still feels like I'm a million miles away when I'm sitting right here. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Carolyn's Corner After Hours again. I'm so glad y'all joined us. I'd like to give everyone else a chance to come on. Remember, this is an interactive show, or we want it to be. We had a really good time last Wednesday when we did this, and we heard some really cool stories. Baltimore, who was on here last week, is supposed to be on here too. I'm waiting to see. Let me just make sure he didn't.
Oh, I'm excited. I like him.
Yes, me too. But I haven't heard from him unless I missed it because I was messing with my light. There we go. Okay, let me try to send it to him through his email. Just a moment. He's trying to get in again. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Let me see if I can find his email. There it is. Okay, give me just a second. Hi, Edgar. I like your pumpkin. Thank you.
You cannot talk today.
I cannot talk. Hold on just a second. Y'all talk amongst yourself. Let me resend this real quick. I'll still be here, but I won't be able to see you. Hold on. Why can nothing ever go smoothly, right?
It wouldn't be us. It's our energies.
I know. It's ridiculous is what it is.
It's our energies.
I know. Okay, let's see. We're going to paste this.
But I think it's been something in the air because I myself got sick on Monday, and Tuesday, like yesterday, was just bad.
Really? Oh,
yeah, and goodness. Today I just took a rest day. I literally just stayed in bed all day.
Okay, well, I sent it to him. Let me just message him and let him know that I emailed it. And I will be right back. Can you still see me? Can you still see me, Liliana?
Yeah, I still see you. You're on.
Okay, that's weird because I can't see you. I guess because I'm still sitting here. Okay, I sent the link. Hopefully, Baltimore will be joining us here shortly. Okay,
Edgar.
Oh my goodness. Let's see, Edgar. You renamed the pumpkin to Punky. Punky. Oh, it's so sweet.
Punky. Oh my gosh, we have to get a pumpkin. We have to get a pumpkin and name it that.
We do. We'll have to do that. We will have to do that for sure. And I'll let you decorate it if you want to, because I'm not any good at it.
Oh my gosh, this weekend, one of my friends was doing a presentation, like a going over a presentation and I had a pumpkin. So I drew a face on it really fast and I was like, this is Jackie. So I was like, she will also be your audience today.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh, you
So
should have had
funny.
one for tonight. My idea of pumpkin carving, they have those little things you can just stick on the pumpkin. I got it
Yeah.
for my grandson, when he was real, real little. He's still real little. And that was about as best I could do. My kids did when they were little, they carved a pumpkin. And yes, our Lisa, I guess it's our Lisa. What a cool name. I am feeling better. I was just having a really, really bad, I guess it's a flare up of arthritis. I could barely walk. I was hurting so bad. I decided to go to a store for about 30 minutes walking around. And boy, I should have never done that. So I couldn't even make it to my show on the radio. Now, I'm hurting when I don't do that, but I'm feeling much better. I've just been staying off my feet. Makes it kind of hard to do all the things I want to do. But, what am I going to say? At least I'm still here. Thank goodness.
That's very,
So
very true.
I don't want to complain too much because there's people that have it so much worse. Um, I finally used curbside today for groceries. It's the first time I've ever used that. That was pretty cool. And they're not even charging. You can pick times right now where you don't even have to pay for this curbside. So it was
Wow.
nice. I didn't have to go shopping. Yeah, because it's unless I get a cart right now, ridiculous. I know. I cannot go grocery shopping. But anyway, yeah, I'm pumpkin. I like pumpkin.
Your pumpkin.
So, Liliana, since you are here right now, let me see. Wait, somebody else is here. Hold on. Let me look. Let me look who else is here. At least it looks like it. I can't tell. Oh, it's Baltimore, I think. I think it's Baltimore. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and click on him. Baltimore, you're going to have to turn your light on because you're very dark. I don't know how you'll look once I bring you on. I'm going to go ahead and bring him on. He's here now, guys. I'm going to bring him on and say a little prayer that it works. Here we go. There we go. Yay. Can you hear us, Baltimore? Well, we see him sort of. I don't know what he's doing. Baltimore, can you hear us? Baltimore. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Well, at least we see him. Hi. Can you see us, Baltimore? And can you hear us? I don't know. I see him.
I can't hear him.
I can't hear him right now.
Okay, how's that?
There,
That
now we hear him.
works.
Yay, hallelujah. We see him and hear him. Okay, that's much better. Thank you so much. Welcome, Baltimore. I'm glad you made it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Crystal was telling me about a little trick, and I couldn't remember what it was to tell you. She said you just click on, I don't know. I'm going to have to get her to type up directions for me because I've never been on that side of it trying to get in. So, but I'm glad you made it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, Liliana, since you were first, and I always say ladies first, are you ready to tell? First of all, let me ask the audience, are y'all ready to hear our first story of the evening? I hope so. I'm not even going to give you an opportunity to answer because that's why we're here. All of these stories, to the best of my knowledge, are true, at least in our experiences, something we've personally experienced, each of us. So, Liliana, whenever you're ready, take it away. Got to
So,
get the mojo going. Here we
yeah,
go.
here's a story that is recent. I'm
Oh,
hoping someone from work has logged on, but so I work at a restaurant in Refugio, and
okay.
there's been some crazy, like, we've all seen something, we've all felt something there. And after the show we did last week, we kind of went over it and we were talking about it. And like, people have had similar dreams, they've had similar encounters with something there. So my cousin was telling me that he had a dream about a lady in a red dress, which I was like, that's weird because last week a lady in a red dress was mentioned. And
Wow.
we were talking about the place that I work. It used to be the old VFW in Refugio.
Oh,
So people have said that it's haunted or whatever. We've all seen stuff. We've all felt stuff. Well, we were out in the front by the very front doors. And it was one of the cooks. It was my cousin, his wife, another waitress, and myself. And we were all talking about the stuff that we've seen, the dreams, et cetera, et cetera. And a lot of it is just stuff we've like seen out of the corner of our eyes or like random feelings we've gotten, the dreams. As we were talking about that, the cook that was in the kitchen said that he was just minding his own business and it looked like someone tapped one of the tongs that was hanging right in front of him, like just tapped it, and he said it was just that one that started swinging, like someone just hit it,
oh.
it started swinging. I was like, that is weird. Well, I went in there when he was telling the story and I was like, so what is your name, ghost? Like, what is your name?
Yeah.
And I was like, at some point today, we're going to know this ghost's name. I go back outside to the desk and it was just me and the two cooks back there. One that had already was in the front having that conversation. I went back to the front and I sit right in front of the register and my cousin's like, Margaret. And I'm like, what do you mean, Margaret? He's like, that is the ghost's name. I'm like, shut up. And he's like, what? I was like, I literally just asked the ghost what the ghost name was. And then the waitress was like, stop. She was like, stop, you're freaking me out. And I was like, go to the back, go to the kitchen and ask one of the cooks. Did she not ask? Did she ask yes or no? Sure enough, he was like, dude, yeah, she just came in here. She asked the ghost what the name was. And all of a sudden, my cousin in the front is like, Margaret, that's the ghost name. He didn't even hear me.
Wow.
That was insane. Insane.
That is weird. So have you tried to communicate and say Margaret to see what happens?
Well, when we closed that night, I don't know if it was just because we were already talking about it and everything was already up in the air, but we turned off all the lights. My cousin and his wife left, so it was just the cooks and me and the other waitress that were leaving. We're closing everything down and we're turning off the lights and we're leaving. And they were making fun. They were like, oh, what's the ghost's name? Margaret. And I was like, yeah, her name is Margaret. As soon as I said Margaret, I felt something kind of like brush up against me. And I was the last one leaving. And I just took off running. I was like, nope, not doing this. I left.
Wow.
Well, I forgot my keys in the desk. So I told one of the cooks, I'm like, look, I really don't want to go back in there by myself. I said, I don't want to go back in there by myself. Can you please go get my keys? He said as soon as he walked in, music started playing. And he's like, it was talking about something about a man. It was like a country song, a man standing at a crossroads or something. He's like, I just grabbed your keys and I took off. He's like, I was not going to sit there and wait. Everybody was so freaked out. And then the next day, I go to work with the other waitress with her dad. Well, it was a Johnny Cash. Oh, she is on. See, she's on.
Is that Hannah? Is that Hannah?
Yes, that is.
It was Johnny Cash, she said. Yes.
Yes. I went to work with her dad the next day, and I had worked with him the day before. We had set some stuff up. We set it on a pallet in like a specific order. Well, the next day, one of the boxes from the bottom was literally tilted sideways. And these were heavy boxes. There was no way that they could have just been like someone took off all the boxes, switched one out, like literally on its side. And you couldn't even do that with the stack.
Wow.
Even he was like, this is so weird. He's like, I think Margaret's following you. I'm like, please stop. Don't do this.
Well, now that you said her name, you may be getting more activity. So what you need to do is try to record it. Try to get a digital recorder or something like a video camera and put it in. I don't know if you want to, but
I don't know that I want to.
That would be really
honestly
cool.
I don't even feel like it's a negative energy. I think it's more like a playful one, if that makes any sense. Like it feels more playful than like aggressive.
Well, I've been watching a lot of those shows, and they say the poltergeist, they like messing with stuff and moving stuff around. Real quick, I got to say hi to Debbie. Debbie hasn't been on here in a long time. Debbie, I'm so glad to see you, honey. It's been forever. I'm glad you're joining us on this paranormal night. Wow, that is pretty scary. I would be very scared. I really would be. I'm a big chicken. I watch a lot of the shows, but when it comes down to doing it, I'm a big chicken. So that's a great story. So keep us posted. Next week, we'll be back here. If you'd like to join us, I'd love to see any follow-up. So make sure you try to get some kind of information. That would be so cool, especially since it's an ongoing thing. Hi, Dolores. How are you? Welcome. Welcome to Carolyn's Corner After Hours. Yeah, Paul's got his cup. Oh, it looks so spooky. So I'm going to go in order here. So Liliana, stand by. Let's give Baltimore a chance. Baltimore, I don't know if I said that right. First of all, I'm so glad that you wanted to join us again. It means a lot to me. We really enjoyed having you last week.
Yeah, it was great.
Yes, we really enjoyed it. We would love to hear one of your stories, any type you'd like. Just, we're trying to keep it to a few minutes each. That way we can all have rounds. Go ahead whenever you're ready, hon.
All right, just any type of a ghost story encounters that other people had. I could do that as well, correct?
Absolutely. Anything that you've heard of, and especially if you've experienced personally. To your best of your knowledge, they're true. That's true to your best knowledge.
I'll tell you one.
Hi, Christina.
Um, I had a friend of mine, and my friend was actually working cattle, and they were staying at this little camp house there at the ranch. It was only his wife um, and uh, uh, and her husband, and her husband was a cowboy, and so they were working cattle all day long. So they actually stayed there that night. They actually stayed there for a few days actually. This one particular night, the moon was full,
Ooh.
and she heard the dogs barking, and she looked outside, and she noticed people walking around the corral area. And he goes, "That's odd." He goes, "I didn't even think that we can have any visitors or anything like that. And besides, and in this ranch area, we're like around 2-3 miles in, and there's no way that they could be people out." So she just ignored it, and then all of a sudden, she was in the mood for a cup of coffee. So sure enough, so she started pouring herself a cup of coffee. Her husband is laying down on the couch, and he was actually knocked out because he had a hard day at work. And so when she came out from the kitchen, lo and behold, standing inside the living room area, there was these two ladies, and it was two ladies and a little boy and a little girl, and one of the ladies was actually crying, and so the two little kids went out there and actually sat on Albert. That was the gentleman's name. His name was Albert. So he went and sat on their lap, on the right there where Albert was sleeping. And so the lady asked her, Mary asked the two ladies what they want, and they didn't say anything. And so the lady was bawling and bawling. And sure enough, Mary comes up and goes, "No, I need to know what y'all want." He goes, "What y'all doing what you doing in my house?" He goes, "The ladies didn't say nothing at all." And then all of a sudden, so Mary was getting very upset because they didn't respond to her, anything like that. She told them in English and in Spanish what they wanted, and sure enough, ladies did not respond at all. So Mary got upset and was about to push the little kids off of Albert's lap, and she passed right through her hands passed right through the air, and she looked at them again and told them angrily, "What do y'all want?" And one lady stood up, pointed at Albert, and he goes, "We need his help." And he pointed towards the direction of the of pointed to the direction of the woods. He goes, "We need his help over there." She comes up. She goes, "No, he ain't going nowhere." He goes, "I want y'all to leave now." And then so the both ladies stood up and looked at each other. And Mary was saying that they were talking a foreign language, that they were talking gibberish. And then all of a sudden, so the two ladies and the little boy and the little girl just walked right through the door and took off.
They went through the door?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. So they were ghosts coming to, oh my gosh. That doesn't
Wow.
surprise me. Wow. That is scary. What do you think, guys? That's pretty scary, right?
To have an interaction like that with a
Yeah.
ghost.
Well, just like
Insane.
the one you were talking about last week where you asked the lady, what did
Yeah,
you ask?
but I mean, to see
About
them
things.
though, to actually
I know.
see like someone that you would think is just a person.
Right, right. Oh,
Hmm.
it's really weird. Yeah, they manifested themselves as a regular, like living human. That's a really good
And
story.
honestly, I feel like that makes me question how many people have we seen that we think are people and are not.
Yeah, well,
Correct.
that's true, right? I mean, who are we to say? We don't know that.
Well, you get it
Because
whenever
it yeah, it just goes
you're
back
the
to like
ghost.
that story from
Yeah,
when I was a kid with the lady that came back and she was like, "Oh my gosh, you're so pretty." And she touched my face and I asked my mom like, "Did you see her?" And she's like, "Who?"
there
She
was
touched
nobody
my
there.
face. She touched
Yeah,
my face. She was here.
yeah.
That's insane.
Wow, those are both really good stories. Hold on, guys. Let's see what Paul has. Paul, what is your first story you want to tell tonight?
Well, I guess we can start small.
Okay, he's going to start small. That's
And then
good.
we're gonna get to Lechusa.
Yes, he's got a story about LaChusa later. He's saving that for the big finale.
I guess because that thing freaks me out.
Yeah, it still does to this day. He's still scared.
Still
First
scared
of all, before you start, I want to say hi to Sarah, Michael. Hey, Mike, if you want to join us, let me know. I'll send you a link. Mike Vasquez, I'm glad you're here. Mike is also our, he's a ghost hunter. You know Mike, don't you, Baltimore?
Yes, I do very well.
Yes, if he wants to join us, Mike, if you want to, let me know and I'll send you the link and you can join us right here.
Yes,
We have
Mike.
room for plenty of people. We'd love to have you. Let me just say hi to Sarah, to Mike, to Shane, to Bertha. Hold on, I'm sorry. Christina, Dolores, Debbie, and Hannah, and Joe, and Frank. We have a lot. So, Paul, go ahead.
That is a lot.
It is a lot. And I'm very, very happy that y'all are here, guys. Remember, if you have any scary or paranormal stories, type them up in the comments or send me a message in Messenger. Okay?
And then we will read them in a scary.
Yes, last time your
Paul
voice.
will read them in a scary voice.
Paul will read them in a scary voice. Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt you, honey. By the way, welcome,
I'm used
Paul.
to being interrupted.
Welcome, Paul.
I
I'm
live in a
glad you
house
made it.
full of women. That's all I do
Yes.
is get interrupted.
Oh,
Yes,
congratulations on your book, though.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh my
thank you,
gosh,
thank you.
y'all. Paul had a book signing at the library. He used to work at the library years ago, and now here he is with a book that people can check out in the library. I thought that was so awesome.
2 books.
Round of
Two
applause.
books. Yes. So that's, when you you have a dream, you just got to have faith and believe, and look what happened. That's amazing. And tell them while you're on here, tell them the names of your books so they can check them out if they want to, or buy them on Amazon, by the way.
Sticky Snare is the first one. The second one is Sticky Mess. And I am currently writing the third one. I'm going to have 2 novels out next year. I have a 600-page novel that I'll be releasing next year.
I'm excited.
It kind of fits into this whole scary thing.
Yes.
Because that one's more of a psychological thriller / paranormal.
Oh man, it's gonna be good.
Yeah, I've already wrote it. I wrote
Yeah.
it like 4 years ago, but I just set it aside and said, okay, Stu.
Hi Tammy. Yeah, Stu. Yeah, I like that Stu.
It's just Stu.
Hi
so
Tammy. Yeah.
I'll eventually pick it back up.
So we're super proud of Paul. So make sure you check him out on Facebook, check him out on Amazon. You can get the books on Amazon. It's under Paul Gallagher. His name's not up here. That's one disadvantage.
Yeah.
Paul Gallagher. That's Gallagher.
Yeah.
Is that the way they can find it? Just go to Amazon and type it in.
You can go to amazon.com/author/PRG books.
Okay.
Yeah,
So write that down, guys. They're good books. They really are.
I've created a semi-publishing company.
See, I'm so
PRG
proud of
Books,
him.
I guess.
Wow.
I'm going to try to help other people as well. So
Yeah,
and then
I know.
eventually I'm going to get to where I can help other people who want to actually publish and stuff as well. I mean, I'm not the best editor.
But you've kind of paved the way. And since you've done it already, you can say, this is how you do this. And I think that's awesome.
And we're in a small town. So in a small town, we can actually, gather the community together.
I think that's so awesome.
And we can help each other out. And
Yeah, because how many people have a dream of doing that? I know one guy. I wish I could get a hold of him.
But there's a few people that I've run into. They're like, man, I really want to do this. I think Mike is one of them. He said that he started writing a series. And
yeah,
I mean, me too, guys. I'm like in the works of writing something too. I'm trying
I think it's so awesome. So if you listen to me volunteering,
together.
Paul is such a good guy. I know he'll help any way he can.
Yeah. I can give information how to format, how to do all that stuff.
Right.
I did a lot of research myself and how to do my books. And
save somebody else some of the headaches that you've already had.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, we're gonna get together after this.
I had to interrupt you because I'm so proud of that,
fine.
and I'm glad you brought that up, Liliana. That's a big deal.
That is
Who else can say that? There's nobody. I've got a book in the library. What? No way. So go ahead.
That kind of
Paul.
freaked me out when
weird.
a coworker sent me the picture and said, "Look what I saw," and I'm like,
"That's so cool. That is the coolest. That's got to be like, can't imagine how you felt. You must have been like, this can't be real."
Yeah.
Because I know it's just Beeville Public Library, but it's just Beeville Public Library. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's something. That's a big deal.
I'm also going to go to. I have plans going to Victoria Library, give them a copy of the book so they can have it in there, and then
do it.
I want to go to Corpus. I want to do all the little areas around here.
I love it. Yeah, go for it.
I
think that's awesome. Yeah, do it.
Yeah,
do it. Okay, go ahead with your story.
Okay,
I'm so proud of you. Go ahead.
As a child, I kept telling my parents, and my parents kind of started this whole thing for me, I guess. I get all this stuff from my dad because my dad is like super hardcore into paranormal. He's done seances. He's done all kinds of crazy stuff.
Oh, come on.
No,
I won't do that.
He went to Australia and actually had a seance, and some guy and this girl, it was their bodies were taken over by this entity, and they started fighting. They pulled knives out and they started fighting on top of the table because the ghost got inside of them. That was weird. Anyway, that's one.
Oh my
gosh!
gosh.
But anyway, as a kid, I kept telling my parents that I kept seeing an owl outside of my window, and they basically kind of blew it off, like whatever. And then one day, after I kept complaining about it, they told me to draw it. I drew the picture of it, the whole body I drew. And then years later is when the pictures of the aliens started coming on the TV, and my picture that I drew matched up with the pictures on TV.
Now, you drew a picture
Yes.
of what you had seen.
The Greys. Well, oh god. Okay, the
Okay,
Greys.
I didn't know about this, and I thought I knew everything about Paul.
No.
Okay.
The Greys are an alien. Yeah, they're
So your parent, you
different
had seen something and it scared you, so they told you to draw a picture.
And I thought it was, of course, parents and whatever, ghosts draw it. So I drew the alien.
Wow, and then you start seeing something exactly like you're drawing.
Yeah, whenever all the drawings started coming on the TV, my dad pulled it out and said, "Oh my!" And I didn't draw this in the face; I drew the whole body.
Yeah. Wow.
And, yeah, it was.
So
crazy.
where were you seeing these at?
We were living in a trailer park by Blueberry Hill. It
Uh-huh.
was back there in the back in the area over there. That's where I was seeing it. I don't remember it myself. I just remember what my parents kept telling me.
Wow. Well, yeah, you were so young, you probably just suppressed that.
Yeah,
or whatever.
I guess. I mean, I've suppressed a lot of stuff from my childhood. I didn't have a bad childhood.
Yeah, you just.
That I know of.
Yeah, did you? That's what I say. Well, how do we know? We don't remember.
But yeah, no, I've had that experience as a child.
Wow.
And it's so funny is that happened to me as a kid, and as I've grown up, I've become more aware of it.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of stuff about, having my own experiences, listening to other people have experiences, and try to help them out as well. And and then plus the way my brain works now is I can use some of those experiences to kind of throw in my stories that I write. And
that explains why you wanted to become a writer so bad.
Yeah, I've been writing since the 6th grade.
I also like that you're like, let's start small or not small stories.
Oh yeah. That's a small story. I got something
exciting.
Oh.
TK Fox or Tammy K Fox just put I love it. Tammy, I'm so glad you're here. She just put on here that she caught a ghost entity on her Ring doorbell a few months ago, and she sent it to the Paranormal TV series for further details.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so cool, Tammy. I wish you could show it to us.
Yeah, and
I wish you could share it.
And a lot of people actually catch. I'm not saying hers is like this. I'm not trying to debunk
I've seen a lot of those on TV where people catch stuff on those.
Yeah, a lot. Some people catch the orbs. You always see orbs.
Yeah.
And I don't believe in the orbs.
Really?
No, because
there's so many things they could be.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's dust.
Right.
If you have a piece of dust that's flying, I'm not saying this is you, TK Fox. I'm just saying in general.
Yeah, a lot of times.
Yeah, people are like, "Oh my God, I caught an orb on." No, you.
But sometimes it is an entity.
It could be.
Yeah.
But they're so easily can be debunked.
Yeah. I believe that.
You can't just come out and say I caught an entity when it was just a light reflection from a flash that happened to catch a dust particle.
That something like that was just the right. Oh gosh, but yeah, sometimes you can actually, those Ring. I've seen some weird things on TV that those Ring doorbell cams.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen where they kept.
What happened to Liliana? She ran away.
She come back. No, she's right there.
What happened? You want me to turn you back on? I don't know what happened, Liliana. Who did we lose?
I'm here.
Okay.
There she is.
I turned you back on. That sounds really bad. Wow. She said, she said, I've seen those on my security camera in my room, as you're describing, Paul. One of my front porch starts off on the right-hand side actually goes to the left, and it just kind of floats up in the air.
Yeah. Now, there are some that you can actually identify, because if you have the one that's go across, it kind of flutters kind of across like that, and it goes in general direction. That's where your air path is, and that's where your dust goes.
Right.
Now, if you have one that's going to come in and does this weird, crazy thing, I mean,
this is unusual, guys. I'm sorry. Something's going on my end.
You keep disappearing.
we keep,
I literally have been hearing things, and it's not just my kids, but something's going on, but it keeps shutting off my
Really?
connection. Yeah.
Wow.
yeah. Whenever
Well,
you start talking about stuff like this,
I know.
you sort of
Usually, yeah,
start
yeah, yeah.
bringing stuff
Tammy,
in.
yes, please send it to my messenger.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I can get it on the show next week if I can figure out how.
Oh, I'm sure you can.
Okay. Wow. That
Yeah.
is freaky.
No,
That is freaky. Yes, send it, Tammy, if you can, please. It's perfect for our show
Yeah.
and perfect for what we're talking about.
Yeah,
Man.
I see those. Also, I'm kind of probably going fairies. I go on this little site they have,
Yeah.
the groups on Facebook. And they're like, I caught a fairy on my my camera. I sound like a debunker, not a believer. I am a believer, by the way. And they're like, I caught a fairy, and you see this thing hover across it. It looks weird because it has the wings and everything, and the way it's flying.
Yeah, yeah.
You think it's
Maybe it's a hummingbird.
or the screws. You can catch the little screws too.
Oh.
Well, they've actually found out that bugs, whenever you hit a tree, whatever, and they fly so fast, and the frames per second on your camera,
Yes.
it actually elongates it and adds extra stuff to it to make it seem paranormal. It's weird.
Wow.
Yeah, but
I'm just
like I said,
making sure
there's just a lot of stuff out there that, especially paranormal researchers, they will be hesitant on saying any stuff that they can debunk. They'll be hesitant about saying that is an entity.
Yes.
Now, if you catch a full-fledged shadow figure, I'm sorry.
Those shadow figures, we were watching a show about that the other night. They are freaky. I mean, they had some videos where you can see them like literally poke around their head.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God, I'd have a heart attack.
See, and a lot of stuff, too, is a lot of those videos that you see on TV that you got to watch out for. You have to be careful that they're not just trying to prank everybody.
Yeah, oh yeah. There's a lot of that too.
If you see it for yourself and you're like, hey, I know what I saw, and hey,
okay, so my turn to tell a story. That was a really good story, by the way. So my turn. So I'm going to go back. Remember last week I was talking about Schulenburg, where my sister and brother-in-law used to live. There was so much activity out there, so many different types of activity. And I would go there as often as I could because I really wanted to try to see a Bigfoot. I know that sounds crazy. Nobody believes me, but it's true because I had heard them. I'm like, okay, I heard them with my own ears. I know something's out there that I cannot explain. Now I want to see one. So I would go outside a lot. They lived way out in the country. The only thing next to them was a church built in the I don't even know, the 1500s, I think, honestly.
Where was this at?
In Schulenburg. We need to go out there. It's really cool. We do.
Road trip.
Yeah, for real. Actually, they remodeled the house they used to live in, and now they use it just as like a parish hall or whatever. They've completely remodeled it. So I would imagine there's more activity. Anyway, so whoever lives in that house, which they did for years and years, 10 years probably, maybe more, also was responsible for taking care of the cemetery, which was, I don't know, you could see it from the house. If you looked, you could see it, but you just couldn't see it details. It's a long way. There's a pasture, a fence, a big pasture, and then another fence, and then the cemetery, but you could see it. Now, this is way, way out in the country, and if there's a car coming, you hear them, okay? Let me just make that clear. It's there's no way you can miss the car because there's nothing else out there. And you can, like I said, you can see the cemetery from the house. So one night I was out there with her binoculars and her night, what do you call that thing that amplifies sound? I was really like being an investigator. I was a chicken. The only reason I was out there at that time is because it was right before dark. Because after it got dark, I wouldn't go off the porch. That's how many weird things were out there. I'm telling you, we should go. We should go out there. I don't know if anything's still happening there, but there was always something happening. So I had the binoculars, and I was looking through the binoculars right before it got dark, and I was looking out in the pasture because that's where I just knew that I would see something or hear something. I didn't know. I'm like, well, that's where it would be, because Penny said, look over there. That's where they'd be. So I'm looking over there, and all of a sudden I hear somebody's voice. Now, David, her husband, Penny's husband, was in charge of taking care of the cemetery and making sure he did go mow it. Yeah, he did. He would mow it, and he would mow the church, there and clean the church after they had service. They still have services there, believe it or not. But he was in charge of taking care of it too. So I'm looking through the binoculars and I hear somebody's voice. And so, I hear the voice first. So I put up the binoculars and my sister's right over there by me. And I'm like, wow. And I look and there's a car that pulled into the driveway of the cemetery because there's a driveway. And I'm watching the whole time with the binoculars. And a man gets out of the car and he's wearing all black, a black suit, which I thought was really weird, and a black like top hat.
The Men in Black.
It was really weird. And a woman gets out of the car and a kid gets out of the car. And I hear her say, "Hurry, come on. Let's go." And I can hear them because they're yelling. They're yelling at each other. Now, I don't know how far of a distance. I'm bad at judging distance. It's far enough to where you can't see details without the binoculars, but close enough to where you can hear them. And I know for a fact that I heard them because I called my sister because she wasn't paying attention. I said, "Penny, somebody's at the cemetery." So I never moved the binoculars. They got out of the car and they walked towards the back of the cemetery. And I'm watching the entire time, and I follow them with the binoculars. And I follow them, and I said, they went to the back of the cemetery. So she calls her husband right away and says, "David, somebody is messing around. This is almost dark. Why would somebody be at the cemetery at almost dark, right?" So, well, anyway. So now I never take my eyes off of it. I'm not kidding. I never moved the binoculars because I just thought it was weird. I was like, something's weird by the way they were dressed. And I couldn't even tell what kind of car it was because I just saw the headlights pull in. And so they walked to the back of the cemetery. I see them walking. And come on, hurry up, catch up, or something like that. And so David gets in his truck, and I can see him pulls out of the driveway, and he goes around the road because there's a road out in front of their house, and then to the cemetery. Well, when he gets there, there's no car there. There's no people there. And he comes back, and I'm like, "Well, who was it?" And he says, "There was nobody there." And I said, "Of course there was somebody there. I was just watching them. They went to the back of the cemetery. There's a car parked right there." He said, "Carolyn, there's nobody there." And it freaked me out. Are you hearing noises or what? You're freaking me out, Liliana. Oh, it's the cat.
My kids and my cat. Oh, I got him a costume. He's a bat.
Oh my gosh. Now you got a black cat bat. Wow. Anyway, so there was nobody there. And I know for a fact what I saw because I was watching it. Oh my gosh. Let me see his costume. Oh my gosh. Cat. Poor cat.
He hates it.
My daughter is with her cat.
No, but I keep having to like mute myself because my kids like they'll be banging on the walls or whatever, and I have to tell them to like they're being too loud, but I have to mute myself because moms.
Oh yeah, I understand. Anyway, that was a really scary thing. It was interesting to me. We never did figure out what it was. I just know what I saw.
So you saw a whole car.
Yes, a whole car with people get out of the car.
How long did it take for him to get from the house?
I don't know, maybe 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes. It's literally
you would have seen them leave.
Yes, there's no way people can leave or drive out there without you hearing them or seeing them. I'm serious. Because it was almost dark. Everybody was using their headlights. And it's not a gravel road, but you can hear it. You can hear the car, you can see the headlights. So there's no way. And I never think Brett wasn't with me that time.
Baltimore. Have you ever heard of a whole car apparition?
What now?
Her story. Seeing the whole car as an apparition.
Yeah, and I didn't see what kind of car it was, but I saw them get out of the car. I heard the door slam, and then I heard the guy, I don't remember if it was a guy or the girl, say, "Come on, keep up," or something like that. And they walked. I watched them walk all the way to the back.
People I can understand.
Yeah, I don't know.
The car, though?
I don't know. And that's why I'm telling you,
heard.
We need to go out there because there was so many weird things that happened at that house.
I've never heard of a story where a car apparated.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. And I know what I saw. I know what I saw, but I never put my eyes.
I guess that is a question for Baltimore. Can items actually be like apparitions too?
Sure.
I never even thought about that until y'all said it because I know what I saw and I know it scared the crap out of me because he came back and I said, "Yeah, they have to be there," because I never took my eyes off. There's no way they could have left.
Yeah, I've just never heard of a car apparating like that.
I told Brett all about it. It freaked me out.
You know what that reminds me of?
What?
Your binoculars. Could you see the car without your binoculars, or did you only have your binoculars?
No, because I took them down for a second just to see. You couldn't see it without the binoculars.
And I thought into an alternate dimension.
It could be. I don't know, but it really freaked me out.
No, that's
because I know for a fact I saw it. Penny even heard them. Penny heard them yell.
Yeah.
When I said, "Penny, there's somebody at the cemetery," and she goes, "What? No, there's not. I don't see anybody." I said, "I'm watching them right now on the binoculars." And so she told David, and immediately he drove over there. And it's literally a field in between. It's hard to describe it unless you see it. The distance is fairly long, but to get there, you would go down their driveway and on the road, then it's over here. You know what I'm saying? Like a pasture in between them. And there's
it's like if somebody would actually see like an apparition of a cowboy just on a horse. You could actually people actually seen cowboys, ghostly
On
figures
horses.
of cowboys on a horse.
And they have
Yeah.
ghost trains. They
Yeah,
have.
that's
Okay,
true.
I have.
Well, I don't, and I
I
wish
have heard
I
of
wish
that.
I
It
would have
just-
seen what kind of car it was. You know what I mean? Because at the moment, to me, it was just somebody messing in the cemetery. But Penny, when I told her, we were freaked out, and she goes, "Oh, I've seen that lots of times. I've seen people pull into the cemetery, and then David goes over there, and there's nobody there."
Yeah.
So-
okay. So yeah. Okay. So
I
yeah.
mean-
Now I'm thinking about it. As soon as he said
I don't know.
cowboy on a
Yeah.
horse, I was like, oh, what? You know what? They have
Yeah.
trains that they have the trains that make the sounds that
Yeah.
you can hear the train.
Yes.
That used to exist, but there's no railroads
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
You can hear the train at night.
Oh, why'd you have to do that? Now I got a story later. On
And
my
then,
next turn, I got another story. You're not
And
gonna
they
believe.
also have where
It's
they
hard to believe.
see-
I've had so many weird
Yeah,
experiences,
and they
like we
also
all have.
Where they see boats in the
Yeah,
ocean that
yeah,
aren't there anymore.
yeah.
They're just ghost boats.
Yeah. Ooh,
Yep.
golly.
I mean, so yeah. I mean, okay. Now I can. Now I'm.
Yeah,
like,
it was weird, and we never
now
got
that
to.
my brain is
Yeah.
active and not in work brain, I just got here from work.
I know.
I was in
Well,
Dilly. So.
That was a question for me because like people have seen items too, like
Yeah.
certain
Yeah.
objects or like they move or you see like a dresser or like a wardrobe that was never there before. All of a sudden, it's like they're in a house that
Yeah.
you know used to visit to or whatever. I just
Yeah. That's,
You know, I don't
feel
know.
like-
And to this day, I don't, because I remember it very well, except I never got to look at what kind of car it was.
Yeah.
And I thought it was weird what they were wearing. That caught my eye because I thought, who are these people and why are they in the cemetery? Oh, it was right at dark. It was dusk. You know what I mean? The sun was going down. So it was light enough for me to see them, but not dark enough to where I couldn't see them. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It was almost dark. And I thought, why are they? And Penny said, oh, they're probably some kids messing around. So she called her husband. And
Yeah.
he, because he was supposed to, I don't know, he took his gun. He took his gun. He came back. We saw him drive over there. He came back right away. I'm like, what? He goes, nobody was there. And I go, that's impossible.
Yeah.
Because I would have seen them. I would have heard them leave because they would have had to use headlights because it's out in the middle of nowhere. And there's no street lights out there. That's another thing. Let me just
Yeah.
make sure you know that.
and that
No street lights
and
except
that's-
for at their house.
and that sort of brings me to a theory that I had on
Yeah.
spirits and whenever you see stuff like that, it's like where a past time, a future time,
Yeah.
or whatever, they merge together.
That's what it reminded me
then
of just like we were
it-
witnessing something that had happened before.
Yeah,
So a
and it
night
kinda
later.
just lays. It's like an overlay on top.
Yeah.
So you're seeing in the past.
Yeah.
That's people see like their house changes.
Yeah.
And their doors change. It's like maybe it's just an overlay of what it used to be.
Yeah.
It's just.
well, I feel like that's kind of the same way with voices. Like when you hear
Right.
voices in your house, I feel like it's just the voices or things that got caught in the room or in the house that just reverberate off the walls, and you're just standing at the right moment at the right time where that sound comes back to you.
Well, your energy. Houses retain energy.
Yeah.
Negative energy, positive energy, and you'll know if you're in a negative energy house, like a highly negative energy house. You walk in, you get these. I mean, I know everybody can't feel it, but there's certain people that have sensations like, I just don't feel right.
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
And,
Well,
yeah,
this is the same house where we had so many things,
Right.
and I don't know how many times. Every time I went, something else happened. Not kidding. And I don't want to take two turns, but just it's almost like because people have also said about Bigfoot, Baltimore. I've heard a lot of people say that Bigfoot is actually in another dimension, and he can travel through
Yeah.
dimensions. But we would see big giant balls of light, and we tried to debunk it. And keep in mind, this is out in the middle, and I'm talking about balls of light. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, it's not a spotlight
It's called ball lightning.
in trees. I'm saying, but
Yeah,
just
yeah.
sitting there, just sitting there in
Oh,
a
just
tree,
sitting there, yeah.
just sitting there
Yeah. that could
all the
be-
time. And I thought, well, that house. I wish we could all go back there.
That's
I'm telling you,
fairies.
we need to go.
It's fairies.
I don't know. It was a big ball of light. That's all I know. And it didn't have a beam like you would a spotlight
Mm.
because David thought somebody was spotlighting out in the pasture, and all this stuff happened in the pasture. Everything was always out there in that area.
Yeah.
And he thought somebody was spotlighting. And I'm like, he said, oh, it's probably somebody just hunting because it was during hunting season. I said, no, it's a ball of light up in the tree in your pasture.
It's a lechusa.
I don't know. I'm serious. We had some really.
No, that's.
I would like to go back there, but as
that's
chicken as
weird.
I'm telling you, we'd have to go at night.
I would like to go.
Let's go.
I would like to go.
I want to go right now because it was so interesting. We should make a road trip, all of us go, because if all that stuff was happening then, I cannot imagine how much is going on now. Now that nobody's in the house,
Yeah.
they're only there periodically.
Wait, especially with like all of our energies
Yes.
together.
Oh, we've seen so many weird things. I'll tell more stories in a minute. I don't want to take any more time on my turn. Liliana, it is your turn, honey. You have something else?
So one thing, if y'all remember last week when I was talking about how I had a friendly ghost in my house,
Mhm.
Well, I had my cousin come feed my cat when I was gone this weekend. And she told me she had turned off some of the lights downstairs. Most of the time, the ones upstairs stay on. That way, people like it looks like someone's home. When I got home, she was like, "This light wasn't on," and I was like, "I'm pretty sure it's just the ghost like welcoming me back home," because I've usually when I come back home from not having been here for a while, that's when stuff starts. Like that's when usually I notice the most stuff happen, kind of like a welcome home.
Right.
And she was like, "That is so weird." And yeah, she was like, "I turned off this light." She was so like, "I turned off this light." I was like, "It's okay. You're fine. It's okay." Um
Wow.
that was literally Sunday night when I got here. Well, another story that I've got is a story that I heard from my mom from when she was younger. She would say that she would always hear stuff. There was a lot of stuff going on. She grew up in Monterrey, Mexico, and
Wow, I like the way you
she's
say
like
that.
I was
she
getting
grew up over
He
there,
knew
and
I was going to say that. Say it
is
one more
funny.
time just for me. Come on.
Monterrey, Mexico is where she grew up.
Ooh,
I'm glad you said that because if I would have said ooh,
man,
say that again,
you'd have
she'd be
been
like, "Hey, he's flirting
you
with me."
pervert. Say it.
You guys are wild.
You're so funny.
No, but
Go
she
ahead.
grew up over there, and my grandpa used to go, like, they used to go up to the mountains and whatever, and they used to actually like hunt lechuzas, and they would tell me
Really?
stories about how they would do it, etc., etc. But this specific story is one that I remember. My mom
You're
said
freaking Paul out already.
Not for you,
she
Cal.
used to have. She was her
Excuse
and
me,
her
I don't mean
sister
to
were
cut y'all
gifted
off for a
dolls.
second. I'm gonna eat real quick, and I'll jump and I'll come back. I'll be gone like around 5-10 minutes.
Okay, no
You're good.
problem.
Okay, I'm
Thank
just gonna leave
you.
this on. All right.
Okay.
Well, my mom and her sister were gifted 2 dolls, and she said at night she would hear them like fight each other in the box. She's like, we would
Oh,
literally
come
hear
on.
the
Oh my
box
God, you're going to freak me
like
out. I hate those
move
kind of
around.
stories.
And she's like, and it was weird because the box was intended for both dolls to sit in it. But she was like, but at night they would always fight. Like we literally would wake up, look at each other like this is strange. Another thing,
I'll tell it, Brett.
at the same time that all this was happening, around the same time, she had told me that there was a room where they would all sleep together. She was like, we all had different beds, um, but we were sleeping together. I think it was at her grandmother's house. And my grandma has always had long nails. Like she doesn't like no acrylic, none of that stuff, but she always just likes to have long nails. Well, she said one time she was asleep and she was like pretending to be asleep and she heard her mom walk in, but her mom was already asleep in that same room. And she was like, she felt her mom scratch her shoulder, like, you need to go to sleep. And she was like, I'm already going to sleep, mom. And she heard the voice from the opposite side of the room, but she was getting scratched on the shoulder. And she
Oh,
was like, that same night, she got up and she heard something fall into their water well. And it sounded like it was trapped. Well, the next day, it just sounded like it was just making a whole lot of commotion throughout the night. The next day, they found a feather that could not have been of an actual normal sized animal. And she was like, that was one of the freakiest things ever.
whoa.
And my mom could go on with stories too. That
I
woman.
wish your mom was on here. That would be so
I muted myself earlier because my stepdad called and I told him to like have my mom and you, because he grew up in Arizona. So he's like, we would see lights all the time.
Oh,
like
I'm sure they saw a lot of
crazy.
UFOs over there.
And my mom she grew up in Mexico and she's got stories. So I was like, y'all write down some stories and send them to me because
yeah. Wow.
I would like to share some of theirs because theirs are pretty insane too.
No kidding. Wow, that was spooky. Okay, Paul, your turn.
All right, I got another little one.
I know, and Brett's sending me some. Hey, don't forget to tell them this one. We have so many all between us. It's crazy. We could do this for weeks, probably.
This is gonna be a fast one.
Okay.
So my ex-wife and I were driving down Charco Road, and we're heading to my parents' house, and we get near. It's like where Car Road is. We get just past Car Road, and I look over. My mom and dad used to have a pool in their backyard, and my
You're
dad,
gonna scare the crap out of me, aren't you? I'm getting goosebumps.
and then my
I don't know
dad
why.
was over there at
I
the
think we have
pool,
company.
and there
Are
was
you getting goosebumps in here?
no.
Okay.
No.
Ugh.
And then my dad was by the pool, and he was looking into the pool, the kids playing in the water, and I saw this lady next to my dad whispering in his ear. I mean, full-fledged body of a lady talking to my dad. And I'm
Oh
like,
my God.
and as we're driving by,
No.
I see this, and I'm like, who's that? I was like, that's definitely not my mom. I was like,
That's,
like, I don't-
Dad, what are you doing?
I was like, who is that? So we pull in the driveway and we go in there, and my dad comes in the house, and got something to drink, whatever. Anyway, he comes in. I said, hey, I said, who was that lady who's that new lady out there that was talking to you? My dad goes, what? I was like, you had a lady talking to you by the pool. And he goes, no, there was no lady over here. And my mom goes, Stella, what lady's out there talking to you?
Yeah, I bet.
And I was like, Dad, no, I'm serious. You were standing by the pool. There was a lady behind you that was whispering in your ear. My mom goes, who was whispering in your ear?
Oh my gosh.
So I'm like, wait a minute. So I said, there's nobody new here? Because we're having a little party. I thought it
Yeah.
was just somebody that just happened to be over there talking to my
Yeah,
dad.
yeah.
Nobody, and there wasn't very many people, but nobody
I'll put this back on.
was that person.
Oh my God.
And there was nobody who looked, because it was like you could see perfectly. It was like a white gown.
Oh, they were in a gown?
Yes, it was like a white gown, and I saw the hair coming down.
What
and
color
she was
hair did
talking.
she have?
It was like a darkish, like a blondish, like a sandy
Wow.
blonde almost. And yeah, just talking to my dad.
I wonder if it could have been somebody that passed away, one of his family members.
It could have been. It could have been something, just talking to him, whispering
Whoa.
just sweet nothings in his ear. And my mom was pissed.
Yeah, I bet your mom was mad. I bet she was.
No,
Wow.
it was after a while. It was kind of like, Dad, there's nobody here.
Yeah, Brett is
So-
telling me on the messenger all these different stories of things that happened out of Penny and David's. So I'm going to tell another one because there were so many. So, I was describing the location, right? The pastures where we always saw everything, all the weird stuff, okay? The cemetery is past the pasture. They live out in the boonies. Now, just try to visualize it, okay? It's next to a church from I forgot the year. Brett, if you remember the year, type it in there. I want to say 1500s, but I'm probably completely wrong. I'm bad with time.
Well, 1492 is whenever Christopher Columbus sailed, so it's got to be 60.
Okay, well, Donovan said he lives off Hilltop, and we see a lady at night walking around our property. Oh my gosh, Donovan, that sounds scary. Ooh, somebody needs to go up, be brave, and go approach her. I am not gonna be me. Not gonna be me.
I'll do it.
Okay.
18,
Oh,
1879,
wow.
yeah,
So the
'cause-
church was built in 1879.
Yeah.
It's a historical marker, of course.
Right.
But they've restored it, and
It
it's
was a
got the
Spanish
tower.
mission?
No, it was just a church. I don't know.
Church. Okay.
But it's got the bell tower and all that.
Yeah.
So that place, let me tell you, we could go on about Schulenburg forever because there's so many things that happen out there. I mean, it just really is crazy. So we were one time. All my kids went with me. My daughter was there. My son was there, and my nephew, who is my sister's son. And they didn't come very often, but they were all there together. We went to visit specifically so we could all be together. And of course, we were out in the country. So the guys, my nephew didn't drink. Of course, I think he was even underage, maybe. I don't even know how old he was. But anyway, Brett and David were drinking a little bit. They were drinking their beer, and we were all barbecuing and just really relaxing and have a good time out in the country. Really nice. Because he had built a little barbecue ring. I don't know why that's important, but it just brings back memories because I miss them so much. Actually, Freiburg, Texas. Thank you, Brett. Yeah, Brett corrected me. It's Freiburg, Texas, technically, because it's out in the boonies. So we were sitting around there telling them about just some of the stuff that we had seen on my mini visits and Brett's mini visits. A lot of times I would go without him because that's how interested I was. I didn't like going without him, but sometimes I would go without him. And my nephew, Jesse, said, oh, there's nothing out there. He goes, I'm going to go y'all are all crazy. I'm going to go put a tape recorder on a tombstone. You're right? Because he had I don't remember if it was a little one. I think it was a little one. I'm not scared. I'm going to go put a tape recorder on the tombstone. And I'm like, well, you go ahead. I'm not going. He's a big boy, right?
Famous last word.
Yeah. I said, I'm not going. So I sat there, and he goes, come on. He tried to get my son to go and my daughter to go. And I know my daughter, I think it was just my daughter that ended up going with him, which is surprising because Chelsea, my daughter, is very brave too. And she goes, I'll go. I'm not scared. There's nothing out there. So they, instead of going all the way around on that road that I mentioned, they cut through the field. They cut through the field, and you have to go through the barbed wire fence, and then on the other side, go through the barbed wire fence and get to the cemetery. I think that's right. Is that right? Okay. Thank you, Brett. I've got the worst memory. So we're still sitting in the yard around the fire. And I'm like, Chelsea, please do not go, because I have a very bad feeling, because I've seen and heard so many things out there. I was literally so scared. Chelsea, I'm not kidding. I don't want you to go. She goes, oh, Mom, you're being ridiculous. I'm like, for real, I don't want you to go. Please do not go. And they're like, we're not scared. And I'm begging them. Y'all don't even know what you're messing with. Don't go. So they, of course, going to do it anyway. You know, they were teenagers, I guess. Yeah, they were probably teenagers. I haven't that long ago. So they take off across the field, Jesse and Chelsea. And, you know, I watch them till I can't hardly see them anymore because it's nighttime. It's
Right.
the middle of the night. It's probably 1 a.m., 12 a.m., something like that. And we can't see them anymore, and I'm freaking out. Like, I am freaking out. I'm like, David, go get them, because I'm so scared, but yet I'm worried sick because they're taking too long. They're taking too long. And all of a sudden, we hear the most blood-curdling scream I've ever heard in my life. I'm not even kidding. I can't even describe the scream. It was horrible. I don't know. It was horrible. High-pitched, loud, coming from that way. And I go, oh my God, David, go get them. Go get them. Because I'm freaking out. Brett's like, calm down. I'm like, no, something happened. So David jumps in his truck and he hauls butt over there. Well, they're coming. They're running on the road full speed. And I mean, you can hear them because it's not that far. You hear them. Something just screamed at us. Something. They come and David's already over there and he comes back. They miss each other. They ran right by him. They were so scared. And they go, something just screamed at us in the cemetery. And I was like, I'm not kidding. I thought something like really bad happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was such a loud, blood-curdling, and I thought it was Chelsea that had screamed. But she said, no, Mom, it wasn't me. And, you know, of course, years later, you know, through research and learning about this, I learned that the Bigfoot makes that kind of scream.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if that's what it was, but I know the Bigfoot were out there for sure because I saw them with my own eyes. We heard them with our own eyes as well. You know, and I never even believed in any of that, but they definitely are. And it convinced her. She's like, I don't think she really much talked about it. I wish she would come on here right now to see what she remembers from that, but she scared the crap out of her. It literally
I
did.
bet. Oh my gosh, that's insane.
Yeah, it was terrifying. It really, really was. It scared the crap out of me, you know, because especially it's your kid. I don't care how old they are. You know what I mean? You think,
Yeah.
and I was even too scared to go because I thought she was going to be mangled. It was that loud. God, you should have heard it. I mean, it was horrifying.
That gives me chills because I don't have to. I did not hear it, but I literally can hear it.
It's like it starts.
I didn't hear it, but I can hear it.
Yeah, the only way to describe that kind of scream, and the one I heard that night on the baby monitor, which is another story. I've heard there's so many things at Penny and David's. It starts out about as low as you can go. And it's hard to really, I can't do it. There's no way. But then it gets progressively higher and higher and higher till it gets to a pitch that no human being could ever make. It is, and it's loud. I mean, it just sends almost like you can't move. You can't move. It is blood hurtling. Wow. Something worse than any movie you'd ever seen. You know, it's not like a person screaming, but you don't know.
It was a ramp up.
Yeah, it's a ramp up. Let me tell you. It's something when you hear it, you know that this is something you've never heard.
Wasn't an owl then.
Yeah, no, it wasn't an owl. No. And that's what I'm saying. So many weird things happened out there.
Owls sound so aggressive to me, like just scary, like chills. Just no.
Okay. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Brett reminded me. They left the recorder there and they never went back to get it. You're right, Brett. They did. I wonder whatever happened. As far as I know. Hi, Charles. Welcome. Yeah. They did. They left the recorder there. I'm glad you said that. Did I tell the story right? My memory is so bad. They ran on the road, right, Brett?
That sounded good to me.
Yeah, I'm just making sure. It was terrifying. And can you imagine being a parent or anyone over here? You know,
How long ago was this?
I guess my daughter was she's 32 now. So she was probably, how old was Chelsea at that time? Probably 15 maybe.
Imagine if the recorder was still there.
I know. I wonder. I didn't know they left it there.
16 years
But
ago.
Jesse wouldn't hardly talk the rest of the night because my nephew. because he was the big brave one that got him to go. And we kept saying, so what did you see? He said, we didn't see anything. Something screamed at us. And he said something, not someone.
Right.
And it scared the crap out. I mean, they ran. So you should have seen them. They were running so fast. And I told them, I kept saying, I told y'all, I'm not kidding about that place. If you want to get scared, that's where you should go ghost hunting. It's a long drive, but now I really want to go.
We have actually to take a road trip one weekend.
Yes, we have actually been over there in the field at night. And that's another story I'm going to tell. I'm not kidding. I'm not making up any of this. I have a lot of personal experience from when I was a kid, but majority of my things come from Penny and David's house in Freiburg.
Oh, yeah.
Because it is loaded with weird phenomena. And Brett, I got more to tell, but right now it is Paul's turn.
I'll tell another little story.
Okay, go right ahead, Paul.
Let's see. High school.
Ooh.
Yeah. I don't know if everybody's ever heard of the Charco Road and how paranormal the paranormal activity that goes on.
It makes me really want to go out there and explore it more.
It's
because you've been talking about Charco Road a lot.
Yeah, no, it's pretty bad at night sometimes. You'll see people walking on the side of the road and they're like, "Why are you walking midnight on the side of the road?" and then vanish. Poof.
Oh, well, I know. Christina and Roland told me a story one time.
Yeah,
and they're out near there too.
Yeah, and a lot of stuff happens after Arnold Road. You go to Trucker Road, you have Car Road, then after that it's Arnold Road. After Arnold Road, that's when all the weird stuff starts happening. As a kid, I was driving.
Oh, you're gonna scare me! I'm already scared because I'm thinking I want to go out there, but I'm such a chicken. I want to see it, but I'm so scared.
It was me, my friend.
We could take a road trip right now. Just all hop in a car. Baltimore can come pick us up.
After the show, we'll go. After the show, we'll go.
It was me, Robert, Sandra, and Heather, and we're all in the car. And all of a sudden, they start talking about, "Let's go back out to Trucker Road. Let's go to Trucker Road." Because there's a bridge at the very end.
There is?
Yeah, there's a bridge.
I've never been that far. Or if I had, I didn't pay any attention.
If you go under the bridge, because the old
Baltimore,
story,
I'm bringing you back.
The old story of the bridge on Charco Road.
Donovan said bad road at night.
Yeah, it is a bad road at night. There's multiple stories of Charco Road, but there used to be an old bridge. This is what Brett was talking about last week. There used to be a lady under the bridge that would rock, or in a rocking chair under the bridge, the old bridge. They knocked that one down.
Like a ghost?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he knows a story. My dad's told me that story. Oh man, yeah. So we decided to go down here because my dad told me that story. I'm like, I want to go down Charco Road. You know, I live on Charco Road, so at the time.
Whoa.
So we decided I'm just gonna go down past our road and go all the way to the bridge. Don't do it. So windows started fogging up, and
while we're
driving, and there's no fog at all. All of a sudden, the windows start fogging up, and then fingers.
Oh, come on now! Oh my God, you're gonna freak me out.
The corner.
Y'all act like I'm brave. I'm not brave.
The corner of the windows on both sides, like fingers, will start doing this through the dew on the windows or whatever that. Yeah.
The dew. We were talking about the dew.
But yeah, no, fingers would
Y'all, I'm so scared.
And it wasn't like they were there.
I want to be brave, but I'm not.
And it wasn't like they were there, and then because if they were there beforehand, the fog when the windows get foggy, they would just be there.
Yeah.
This was like someone was on the outside of the car putting their fingers in.
Like we were talking about the handprint from when we went to the cemetery. Yeah, it stayed there. That was weird.
And and both sides did that.
Oh my gosh.
We got on top of the bridge. The radio started doing this crazy.
It did?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It started doing this crazy thing. The car started stalling out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So then after that, it was kind of like, holy crap, this is crazy. So then we left, and they were like, let's go back again. So we did, kids.
Oh
so
my
we
God.
decided we're gonna go back again, and it was nuts.
I think we're gonna have a road trip tonight after the show. Anybody up for it?
And after that bridge on Charco Road, after that bridge, after the bridge, there's a road to the right. The first road to the right after the bridge. You go down that dark road. There's a cemetery on the right hand side.
Oh.
And I got a story about cemetery too. And I don't know who maintains it. I don't know. I go out there sometimes. I finally down like 3 or 4 times at night. I've been there a few times in the daytime. And there's old tombstones. Old.
Oh wow.
Probably 1800s. It's crazy.
Wow.
And my daughter wants to go out there and do some tombstone rubbings.
Oh yeah, you were talking about that last week.
Yeah, she wants to go do that. But yeah, no, Charcoal Road is crazy. And
The tombstone rubbings is just to get get the information,
yeah,
right?
that's yeah.
Okay, I
Well,
thought maybe
it's
there was something I don't
a
know
lot
about
of
it.
people do tombstone rubbings just because, especially like the old ones, because they look cool.
Yeah.
They don't do it for any specific reason.
Okay. Okay.
I
So
know
they're not
now
trying to
there.
communicate with the spirits or
No, no, no,
anything.
no. Now there are other people like I used to when I was in the genealogy really really bad. I'd go out there and find family members
Yeah.
and then do a tombstone rubbing of
Yeah.
their headstone.
Wow.
Yeah, I do that.
If it's during the day, maybe, but I don't know.
No,
about
I
night.
no, I don't like going at night doing that.
No way.
Um, I really don't like going in that cemetery at night either.
Oh, we're gonna have to go try
I mean,
it.
I
I know
do,
I say we're
I
gonna have to. We
will.
probably won't, but I want to. But
My
I'm not
daughter,
brave.
my daughter wants to go, and we were gonna. Matter of
Oh.
fact, me and her drove out there the other night, and we're gonna go, but the grass is tall.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I was like, I'm not walking in the grass at night.
Wow.
We've
So
heard
we'll
and
we'll
seen
have to
so
go
many
check it out. So if
things.
anybody on here gets a chance to go check out that cemetery or Charcoal Road where he's talking about, go out there and come back with a report. Let us know.
And be
Let's see.
respectful.
There's a family cemetery on the end of Hilltop Road. So Hilltop, are you familiar with where that is?
No, I think that's going out towards Blueberry Hill.
That's out towards Blueberry Hill, right, Donovan? I think it's so bad. We've lived here so long, and I'm still terrible with directions.
Yeah, so much.
Brett's my husband's on here with me. He's the Carolyn Brett Wardwell. So we got split personalities. Well, you already knew that, guys, if you watched the show at all. So wow.
Yeah, but there's been accidents on Charcoal Road.
Yeah, I know there's been a lot of
people-
accidents.
People drive up and down like crazy. I mean,
They do drive. From when I've been out to y'all's house, every time the people
Yeah, it's
drive like maniacs. I'm like, why are they driving so fast?
And the funny
They're
thing is
scared.
that-
They're scared.
Maybe
Yeah,
that's
no,
why.
And you know what? Yeah, I've actually seen people in my back seat driving. Yeah, it's terrifying.
Oh my god.
That's happened to me before.
Oh, yeah.
It's
That's freaky.
freaky.
What do you mean somebody in your back seat? Like a
It's
ghost
like-
in your back seat?
Well, yeah, you'll see a shadow in the back seat.
Oh
sitting
no,
there
no, no.
Through the rearview
No.
mirror.
No, I've seen a child in my backseat like playing with a toy.
Yeah.
I
Oh.
literally like looked. I saw it in my rearview mirror, and then I like looked away, and I looked back, and it was gone, and I was like,
Did I just
Oh
see
my
what I
gosh.
thought I just saw?
yeah. I was like,
Wow.
Yeah, see, on Charcoal Road, my dad actually told me a story that on Charcoal Road, whenever it was literally charcoal, it was charcoal. I mean, it was caliche before it was all paved.
Okay.
They had a sheriff. This is like in the 50s, I want to say, that drove down that road and
To Car Road, then Hilltop. Okay, Donovan.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Ooh,
okay,
we're gonna have to go check
Hilltop's
that
off
out.
Car Road then. That's right. I live
don't
on
know.
I live on Car Road, so
Yeah, you
I
do,
should know
yeah.
that. I thought it was a Hilltop. So anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the cop in the 50s was driving down there, and he said that an animal or something came out of the woods, ran alongside the car, and swiped his arm and
oh my
tore
gosh,
it,
it freaked me out.
tore his arm out.
While he was in the car?
While he's in the car, he had his arm out, and it literally came out of the woods and
Oh my
swiped
god,
his
it had to
arm,
be
cut his
moving.
arm. I want to say it was in the newspaper.
Wow.
That
That's
is scary.
Somebody
That's what my dad
research.
said.
Who's good at research? Paul, you are.
You
You're
were
already
saying
smart.
that, and my cat scared me because he's scratching at the door, and I was like, oh my
Oh my
god.
god, what bad timing, kitty cat. Wow.
I was like, oh my gosh, there's a bat in my house. It's my cat.
There is
Wow.
some really crazy stuff that goes on out there.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, let's get Baltimore back on here. Welcome back. I hope you had a good dinner, Baltimore. It's Baltimore, right? I keep saying more. I don't know which
Yes.
way properly. So, do you have another story you'd like to add, hun?
Am I muted or can you hear me okay?
No, we can hear you good.
Okay. Alrighty.
We're trying to go in rounds, guys, giving everybody a chance. If you have
Okay.
anything interesting or paranormal or just interesting you'd like us to know about, type it in the comments, okay? Message us.
Hmm.
Go
I'll
ahead.
tell you what. I'm trying to think of another good one. Hmm. I'll tell you about. I go ghost hunting like I went ghost hunting in Gettysburg,
Yeah, you
and
told
we
that
went to a
last
place
year.
called Sachs Bridge,
Okay.
and it was my fiance and myself, and so normally when we go out, we normally leave offering tobacco or even sometimes or even give it a shot of whiskey. And so my fiance was down by the off of the side of the bridge, and she was snapping pictures. So I went up there, and apparently that Sachs Bridge was supposed to be real haunted, and where three Confederate soldiers were actually hung there
Oh
on
wow.
that bridge. So I went up there and everything like that type deal, and I had this real funny feeling, suddenly real funny feeling on that bridge. So I just started doing my thing, so I just ignored it. And then so I left offerings on the bridge for these soldiers. So she was out there snapping pictures of the whole all the bridge and everything. And then so when she got home, she actually developed the film. And so she asked me, "Hey, were you alone on that bridge?" I said, "Yeah, there was nobody. There was nobody on that bridge." And she goes, "You sure?" I said, "Yeah, there's nobody on the bridge. It's me." He goes, and if there was somebody there, I would definitely let you know, but there was nobody on that bridge.
Right.
I said, "Why do you ask?" He goes, "Well," he goes, "because just developed this film, and you're on this bridge, and I see you clearly, and a few feet from you, there is this Union soldier with gray uniform, with a gray uniform,
Wow.
and you could actually see the golden buttons on his jacket.
Wow. Oh my gosh. And there was nobody
Wow.
there.
Nobody there.
That's crazy. So did you get a funny feeling while you were on the bridge or no?
Yes. Oh,
You did?
definitely.
Because I know you
I
said,
basically always do, and there's sometimes also when I know whether spirits close by or whatever.
yeah,
Uh, 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 there's something happens to the body, and you
yeah.
can
You
actually
get
feel the energy.
like a tingling or a, I don't know. I do too. Like a sensation. I don't know. It's weird, isn't it, how our bodies react to that? Maybe it's just, I don't know. I think a lot of us do. It's very strange. I've had it before, and you just like, something's not right.
Well, the
Yeah.
common myth is they draw energy out of the air,
Yeah,
so it
you
gets
can feel
cold
it.
and you can actually feel
Yeah,
it draw the energy
like the thing here in the room
for
for
them to
sure.
manifest.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, that is pretty cool. Does she still have that photo? That would be amazing to see.
Yes, yes, she does. I got to say one more thing else too, and then I have to
Sure.
get off here, and then
Oh,
I
okay.
definitely got a big day ahead of me tomorrow.
Oh, no problem.
Um, there is people always talk about the lechuza,
Yes.
and I wanted to clarify a little, you know, something that I came to a conclusion.
Right.
And when we were little, and uh, I grew up with my cousin, and then so one day we decided to go down the creek, and so my grandparents told us not to, because if not, the lechuza was going to get us.
Right.
And they came up there and said, and then so and he goes, he goes, "Don't worry, it's not going to get us." So anyway, so we just ignored what our grandparents told us. So we went down that creek, and then so my grandfather always told us, if you know if a lechuza's close by, you whistle, and if it
Oh,
whistles
that's like
back,
Paul's story. Go ahead.
so
That
that
is
means that
crazy.
there's one there, right? So sure enough, so we're down the creek. I must have been maybe like around 9, 10. And then my cousin comes up. He goes, "Well, let's check if there's really a lechuza close by." And then all of a sudden, he
You're giving
whistles.
Paul flashbacks.
Yeah, he whistled. And then all of a sudden, we hear the strangest whistle back.
Hmm.
And then we take off running back to the house. And then rewind, rewind like around 40, I say like around 40, uh, 45 years later, I came to a conclusion that when we were down the creek, Bigfoot also whistles.
They sure
Oh
do.
yeah.
We were just talking about that. Yeah. Well, we were talking about this the
So
spring. Yeah.
if there was a Bigfoot close by, and if we whistled, very well he was going to whistle back, because
Yeah.
we heard that whistling sound many times before.
Yes.
So
Wow, that is so interesting. Well,
yeah,
that's just it. None of us really know for sure what it is because there's so many unexplained, things out there. And
Right.
as far as the Bigfoot, while you were gone, I was talking about the scream that I heard when the kids were down at the cemetery. And I now knew later that it was the Bigfoot scream because it's something you cannot deny. It is something like you would never hear otherwise. You've never heard in your life.
Exactly.
And the one I'm talking about is the scream, not just the whistle. It is terrifying.
Exactly.
Like it sounds like something. Oh, eesh. I can't. I was trying to describe it to Paul. You can't even make the sound. It just, my
Exactly.
dad had it happen when we were kids. He didn't know what it was. He heard it, and he said he just froze. He couldn't even move. And that's what it does. It just makes you freeze. It's an
Exactly.
unbelievable sound. If you ever hear it, there's no denying it. So if any of you
Uh,
guys out there ever hear a sound like a woman screaming or an extremely loud whistle, how would you describe the whistle, Baltimore? Because I'm talking
Very
about the
high
scream.
pitch. It's something out of the ordinary.
Yeah,
It's very hard to describe. People,
right,
it's not. It wasn't a human whistle. It was totally
right.
something different.
Yeah,
And
because
the
there's
thing is
something
also too,
a
you have
human
to
couldn't make.
realize that Bigfoot actually have big lungs, and the sounds carry a lot more, and uh, and you could hear it a lot louder.
Right,
And
and that's how
I
they communicate, is what my sister and brother-in-law say, because they did research all the time. They
exactly.
communicate through those.
See, I have a team of scientists that I actually work with, and they have one certain scientist have been collecting vocalizations for over shoot 30 years, 30 40 years,
Wow.
and the stuff that he has on these things are just totally amazing.
Yeah.
We I've actually came out on What on Earth, and I came out and they did on Amazon. You could actually find it. It's actually called Native Bigfoot, and actually came out on that. And there were some other programs that actually contacted me uh, for me to come out in the next couple of years over here in B County. So I'm just waiting for those. But
Wow.
the troves of information that we have been getting here from the Bigfoot community, and even Refugio.
Right.
Refugio is one of the hot spots because the last person actually saw one over there in July the 4th. Actually saw one there, and I would get phone calls quite a bit from Refugio about the sightings that actually happened down here. I mean, the sounds that you can actually hear at night, and you can actually because Bigfoot actually has a lot of air in the lungs. Their lungs are huge,
Right.
and there's sometimes it loves mimicking animals.
Yeah, that's right. My
It
sister used to
mimics
tell me that all the time.
right
Wow.
owls to crows to coyotes to all this other stuff, and the only way that you can determine what is what, because coyote doesn't have, again, the lung capacity of these creatures are so massive, and then so he just plays a place like that. I can't even tell you the encounters that we actually had down here in B County and actually the surrounding area.
Wow, that really makes me want to go investigate, because my sister, have you ever been to the Bigfoot conference? They used to have it I went with her once in Jefferson, Texas. I think that's where it was. And it was just
Right.
amazing. They had the guy that got the Bigfoot photo, the video way back, and they had the guy talking about the dermal ridges. And Penny was on one of those shows, Unexplained Mysteries, I think,
Right.
years ago, because of her first encounter. And they do a reenactment of it. And ever since then, because it changed her life. It really did, because she saw it with her own eyes, and it scared her so bad that after that, and she said, when you see them once, it seems like you see them everywhere you go, because now you know what to look for. And so I didn't
That's
believe her, like I said at first, but now I do. Of course, she
that.
passed away, and I feel like I need to continue her legacy. Honestly, because they were a part of a big, huge community, and they had all kinds of evidence too. They had video, they had pictures. I don't know what happened to all of it. Hair samples, footprints, stuff that they had sent the hair samples, and they said it came back as unknown primate. So
Wow.
it's just
See,
interesting. But
see, that's $1 million question. Is that when you're in the woods as long as I have, like
mhm.
every other weekend, I'm always in there. I'm always looking for stuff. I found dinosaurs. I found so much stuff down there, down these creeks. It's just totally fascinating. And the thing is, again, there's stuff that you cannot learn from a book. You're gonna have to learn these things on your own. And
Yes.
once you start learning how to gather the information, actually knowing what you actually know, and knowing everything that there is to know about the woods, and in Bigfoot, there's no experts in Bigfoot,
Yeah.
but you can be an expert in the terrain that it actually lives in, and that's why that's why everything that you do, you have to be very focused with. And then you have to know about what other animals are out there. There's even stories in Beeville, in B County, and also the surrounding areas, where they actually seen monkeys down these creeks, down over here, down the Medio Creek. So
Yeah, let's leave it down there. Wow. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. I mean, there's just unexplained stuff everywhere. And like I said, people think they look at me weird, just like I'm sure they look at you when you talk about Bigfoot, because they don't think it's real. But if you've experienced it yourself, then without a doubt that it's real. I believe it
yes,
100% because I saw one standing out in the field in Freiburg in the pasture. I
wow,
saw it with my own eyes, and I'll never forget it. And I saw it, I heard it, I smelt it, and I saw it. You know what I mean? So I figure all three of those things, that Brett, he didn't see it that day, but he smelled it and he heard it. My husband. So I think he believes too. It takes to see one, I think, really, before you're like, okay.
Well,
Because that was my
exactly.
final straw. I said, I want to see one. That's why I was going
yeah.
so often. I want to see one, even though I'm scared. I want to see one. And it was at the time I least expected it when they went to the store and I was in the laundry room and there was a window and I happened to look out into the field and I thought, what is that, a cow? And I'm like, no, that's definitely not a cow.
I
And
got
it was about eight.
confirmation.
Do what?
Jefferson,
Yeah,
Texas
it
does
was.
hold a Bigfoot conference every year.
Good. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I've been to it. It was really interesting. And at that point, I hadn't seen one or anything.
So did your Bigfoot
So,
stand up?
yeah. Oh, yeah. He was standing up. Yes, absolutely.
Well,
Um,
alrighty, people, I gotta take off
all
and
right,
have a big
Baltimore.
day
Well, thank you
tomorrow.
so
And it
much.
was good talking to y'all.
Good talking to
Yes.
Good
you,
talking to
too.
you.
You take
Have
care
a
of
good
yourself,
night.
okay? Thank you for joining
Yes,
us.
ma'am. You have a good night. Bye
You
bye.
too. Bye bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's just the two of us. Yes, the
Three of
Bigfoot that I
us.
saw did just the three of us actually. It did stand up. It did stand up. And by the time I told Brett, come here because he was in the kitchen, which is right next to the room, because I wanted him to bring the binoculars because they were just out of my reach and I didn't want to take my eyes off of it. All I did was turn my head for a split second, and in that split second, I don't know how, but it was gone, and literally a split second. And that's why
Wow.
they, the talk about them being in different dimensions or shapeshifters or whatever. I don't know. Maybe there is something to it because how in the world could
I
they travel
believe
that
the
fast?
shape shifting for sure.
Yeah, well, because the Indians, especially, I wish I should have mentioned that when Baltimore was here. The Native Americans really believe in that Bigfoot is a shapeshifter. At least that's what I've been told by my,
Well,
our.
there's all types of myths with Native
I
Americans
know.
dealing
Yeah,
with
and like
dealing with
theories
different
too.
types of
Yeah,
creatures.
because they said they would actually trade with the Bigfoot.
Yeah.
They would literally leave things for the Bigfoot to keep the peace, and the Bigfoot would come and get it. And I don't know, but it's pretty
That makes
interesting.
me think about mermaids too, like how there's so much evidence that mermaids like are a thing,
Yes,
but because there was that humans always have to have some sort of war with whatever
I know. No
that
matter
they
what it is,
were.
they're not
Yeah.
gonna believe it.
So they're
Well, speaking
just
of that,
in
it's your
hiding.
turn, Liliana. Whatever you want to share, or if you
I'd
want to
I
love
just
to hear
kind
had
more
of,
about this
something.
mermaid thing.
yeah, you want to talk about the mermaids. I mean, it doesn't have to be a story
Well,
necessarily.
I got for a
I
while.
just
I
gotta throw this thing
actually
back
was
on my side.
curious
Make sure it doesn't touch.
enough that I wanted to study marine biology for that reason. I
Wow.
had seen a few scientists, a few marine biologists that have been in the waters and have like studied it that have had encounters with human like fish.
Yeah,
And during that whole like the documentaries that I saw, the stuff that I read, that people, I know I see some of the stuff does look very, very fake, but realistically speaking, when you look at the history,
yeah,
the technology, Facebook videos, none of this stuff was like a thing super
that's true.
early in history. So for there to be pictures
I know.
of different like
Fish like people.
countries to be trading with fish like people, or to be, you know, be help hunt and gather fish with the help of mermaids, call them
Yeah,
what they are, is insane to me. Like that doesn't make sense that even what was it? Like dolphins. Dolphins help a lot of people fish.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Well,
Well, you know, yeah, oh yeah.
People that are in trouble.
Yeah, I know they've helped people in trouble for sure. I didn't know about fishing, but you know, I was just thinking. I don't know why this popped in my head. I've heard that like mermaids is almost like a fairy tale, but they say in every fairy tale there is some type of truth because that's how it became, because it's been passed down, right, from generation to generation. If there were not any truth in it, then we wouldn't even be hearing about it probably in our day and time. You know what I mean? They still wouldn't be. So I mean, I've gotten to where I don't doubt anything, honestly.
And it's funny is that everyone thinks mermaids. They think, oh, it's the naked lady with half human, half fish.
Right.
And that I've seen a few videos myself, and I'd have to agree with some of the videos that shows us proof that they're not going to be human fish.
No,
they're going to be humanoid.
Yeah,
fish. They're going to have the arms, the fingers.
They don't look like humans, really.
No, they don't have the because for them to live in that type of environment. I know I'm talking like a scientist. No, for them to live in that type of environment,
like an author.
Yeah,
like an author. Yes, Liliana. Yes, that's right.
You look at the environment they live in. They're going to live deep down in the sea.
Yeah, they would have to.
No sunlight
to go undiscovered.
So their skin's not going to have the skin tone as normal humans. They're going to have that grayish fish-like skin tone.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, for us, just like with aliens, for us to think that we are the only living creatures on Earth, you know what I mean? Like halfway intelligent is naive, I think.
Well, there's just only a small percentage of our oceans that we've actually discovered. Yeah. For one. Two, there's this theory that when the dinosaurs were like the meteor hit, dinosaurs went extinct, could have been humans. There could have been people. Some of them chose land, some of them swam to land, some of them stayed and adapted to the water.
Right.
That is not impossible, especially that early on. You know what I mean?
Look at animals, how they change throughout time. You know what I mean? They do, right? They adapt to their environment and they grow different appendages. You know, there's fish that actually walk on water. You know, and there's fish that fly. That's weird, but they're actually there. Yeah, isn't that something? I mean, just crazy. For an example, you know, they adapt to their environment. So how is it so far-fetched that there's something like that still? Just like the Loch Ness Monster and all that. I mean, watch those. They say that that's definitely true. And who am I? I would not doubt it. I've gotten to where I believe everything now.
Yeah,
it's still have
insane.
As well.
Yeah, sirens.
Oh, the sirens. We saw. Oh my God, I saw a show on that. That is freaky.
Yeah, they can actually sing.
Yes, it looks like a giant,
Well, no, sirens actually can be mermaids as well. It just depends.
Well, it's like there's been recordings of dolphins like communicating with each other, and then out of nowhere something else that's never been discovered that's just communicating with them also.
Wow.
Whales too, like there's evidence of this.
Yeah.
And that's my thing too, is like for us to think that we're really the only like humans, like human-like things alive on this planet. We literally have so much of the ocean to discover. So much. That's why I got so interested in marine biology, because of that. There is so much we've yet to discover. And then I hear about the stuff that the Navy is like bombing underwater. Why?
We were just talking about that. Yeah.
Why is the Navy?
What are they trying to cover up? Yeah.
What? Not just that. What are they trying to?
No, I don't think so. You got to share it with me.
Destroy.
No, you got to share it because I'll forget what it is. Share it with me on Messenger. I wanted to look at it.
That is insane.
Paul was talking about how they did an atomic explosion, right?
That wasn't atomic.
No,
wait. They dropped a 40,000 ton bomb in the ocean.
Yeah.
They said they were testing
40,000 ton bomb.
Yeah. And
he was saying, why would they kill all that marine? That was after the show we were talking about that.
Yeah. It was like, why would they kill all the marine life for
a test?
For a test. It doesn't make any sense. They're all about saving animals and
but we're going to kill everything within a how many mile radius.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I feel like we are at war with. I honestly feel like we are at war with something that the Navy's not sharing or military's not sharing.
I completely don't.
Imagine the information the president knows that he cannot share.
Actually, I don't think it's the president because there's so many levels of secrecy above the president. The president doesn't even know. And
that is insane.
and he won't. He basically he won't be told
Yeah.
because why? He'll be
Need
gone
to
in 8
know.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would the people that are that's
The
why I always
generals
say
and the
that's why I
that.
always say that the president is nothing but a talking puppet.
Yeah.
That's every president because the president doesn't control anything. There's people higher up that are
Oh
actually
yeah.
doing all of the
Yeah.
string pulling and stuff, and but that goes into conspiracy theories, and oh my lord, I can go down that rabbit hole, and we could talk for hours on that stuff. But
Right. So, Keith, have you ever had anything paranormal or unusual in experience? If you did, just type it in there and we'll bring it up. If you want to come on the show, we'll be happy to have you.
I know working for TDCJ, you had to have.
oh yeah, TDCJ, the prison system.
Yeah.
Oh my lord, you go in there and you
You-
hear ghost stories like crazy. Like
Really?
yeah,
Yes.
you'll have the offenders that are actually in cells and be like, yeah, I just saw this thing just walk by. It was sitting here and whoop, it went because you have people that commit suicide out there, and
Yeah.
the people
Sad,
that
There's
but
die.
been
true. Yeah.
times where people will like knock on the door and you'll buzz it open and it's nobody. And then
Yeah.
you can ask someone on the outside like, "Hey, who was at my door?" Nobody was at your door, but you're hearing things.
Wow.
Yeah, there's crazy stuff. See, and then Chasefield's different because Chasefield used to be a naval air station
Yes.
Mhm.
before it was a prison. So
Brett was talking about some hangar out there one time.
yeah, there's actually
Some guy hung himself or
Yeah.
something in the hangar. Yeah, there was a story
well,
about
they have the
that.
hangar, then you have the barracks, what are now offices now.
Yeah.
But they were barracks where the sailors lived,
Right.
and yeah,
It's crazy.
and
Yeah.
they would actually, I mean, yeah. They
Well,
commit
one of
suicide.
the barracks was
Wow.
turned into what was it? The I don't work for TDCJ no more. I guess I can share this, but a guy committed suicide. He was a mental health patient. He jumped from the 3rd floor to his death. Literally.
Wow.
Just
I know what unit that was.
that was the trustee camp, but that was recently.
Wow.
And I mean,
Terrible.
McConnell too. McConnell has people. We got attempted suicides all the time. Some of them successful. There's always some going on in McConnell.
Yeah.
That's a shame. Wow.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, there's tons of stories out there about
Yeah.
this stuff. Even base housing.
Yes.
It used to be base housing.
Now it's K Park.
K Park.
Which is where
That's
Lily
where
Allen
I
used to
live.
I know, that's what I was just thinking.
And
I'm
K
sure there's
Park,
weird stuff out there
because
too.
that's a lot of military families lived out there, and there are
Yeah.
people who's died out there, and there are tons of stuff. Even the first apartment that we lived in, I think Crystal's talking about a little
Oh
bit.
yeah.
We'd hear voices downstairs. We'd hear pots of pans. We would hear people walking up and down the stairs, and it just wasn't to my apartment. You talk to anybody out there that's lived in those things and that's been there for a while, that actually is open to this.
Yeah.
They'll tell you, oh yeah, I mean, they'll see stuff. Yeah,
I've
it's
been
crazy.
since I got home, like literally I hear so much stuff. As of recently, I think there's something else that is in my house now because I've been hearing stuff upstairs. I know one stays downstairs, the one that I asked my buddy that's been living here forever. But something else is here. And I noticed because I'll notice my cat like look up and like look like someone's walking around my bed. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Well, what about the boys? Do they ever say anything about seeing anybody or hearing something? Well,
No.
that's good because I know the kids can see it a lot more than the
Jordan
Yeah.
and
adults.
Aiden, whenever they were children,
Yeah.
they would see him out there all the time.
Yeah.
They would say, "Yeah, he lives in my closet. Like it's no big deal." Like, well, okay.
Yeah. Like it's no big deal. Jeez.
But it's I love seeing stuff like that though.
Yeah, I like
It-
seeing it, but I'm the biggest chicken. That's the only thing. I want to see it, but yet I'm too scared. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I want to
It
see
makes
it, but I
perfect
don't.
sense. Same. I'm the biggest chicken too.
Yeah. It's like, just don't scare me. That's the big
Well,
thing.
one
Don't
thing,
scare me,
too,
but I
is,
wanna
like,
see you.
I went to, I don't remember where it was, but it was a house in Washington. We were driving around and we were looking, it was for scary haunted houses, whatever, like sightings. So we showed up to this house. I don't remember the name of it. I don't remember the name of the town. I have to do some research on that. But we walked around the house. They normally do around October. They do tours of it. And there's a
Right.
paranormal investigator that will take you and walk you through the house. There's one that like doesn't like women. So women will get their like hair pulled or like pushed or whatever. And I remember going and it wasn't around when they were doing the tours. We were just looking at the house around like the little town. It was like it was like downtown of this town. And I walked around the house and I just got chills just being around the house, like walking around the house. I didn't even think I could walk in the house. Like
You get
I
a
didn't
bad
even want to
feeling
be
right
close.
away.
Yeah, it was a negative, like just the energy was so strong and it was I did not like I could not be there. I'm like feeling it now and I'm not even there. And I remember what it felt like. I was
Yeah.
my my husband at the time was like, "Hey, come look through the window." And I'm like, "No, no, no. Like I don't even want to be here. I don't want to be here. I don't
You
want
get
to
a
be here."
bad feeling.
Yeah, and I was like, I can see why some people and I think I read it afterwards that one of the ghosts or one of the things, the entities in there did not like women. And I was like, I can feel that because me being there, I felt like I was very unwelcome on this property.
Wow. Well, let me look here and see what Donovan writes. He said there's many stories about the Live Oak County Courthouse, um, that you can see the founder of George West, Mr. George Washington West, looking out the windows on the second story window in the front. Whoa. Well, you know those old courthouses, Donovan, they're always so scary. I hate being in them. I hate being in the one here in Beeville. I always get a very bad feeling
I've been
about
in
the one
the
in
attic
Beeville.
of that place.
Oh, no, no, no.
And that you want to talk about creep factor?
No, I would not like that. I get a bad, I really. In fact, I have jury duty towards the end of the month, and I'm not looking forward to it just because the place gives me the creeps.
Yeah.
It gives me the
It's an
heebie-jeebies.
old building.
Yeah, it really is.
And I had to go run a network line.
Oh.
And they're like, okay, we need to go in the attic and do this. And I'm like, I've never been up there. And man, you would talk about just that's a perfect place for a vampire to hide.
Oh, I can just imagine.
Lord.
Yeah.
I mean, dust, dirt, and just time.
Oh.
It's
like everything just stood still, though.
Yeah, and it was.
So yeah, I can just imagine, Donovan. Oh my gosh, we'll have to check that out. Live Oak County Courthouse. We'll have to check that out. Mr. George Washington West.
And also around here you have the Burkler Mansion. Which
Yes,
is Burkler.
Brett wanted.
Yeah.
Does anyone on here have any stories, personal stories?
Because I know they do a haunted
about
tour.
Yeah,
around this
but
time.
that makes me even more leery, though. If they do a tour of it, is it really haunted? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It must be. There must be something to it. But who knows? Does anybody have any personal experience? Anyone ever gone on a tour of the Burkler Mansion and can share their story? Because Brett wanted me. Let's see.
Yeah, Burkler. That's what he's talking about.
That
Does
one.
anybody have any stories about the Burkler Mansion?
But what was the other one? Hold on. Brett, what was the story?
La Llorona.
Oh yeah, hold on. Okay, this is one of here locally in Beeville. Brett wanted me to share this with
Oh,
you.
the lawyer's office.
Yeah, this is pretty cool.
I never heard
So,
of
it's pretty weird. So there is a building right down the street from our house, and it is an old. It was built from a Sears kit, the house. And the reason we know that is because when you go into the house where the lawyer is, it's got the pictures all over the wall, and it's talking about how it came from a kit. So they had these kits that you could order for a lot cheaper than getting the actual house built, and you would build the house yourself. Well, that in itself is pretty weird. So that house has been there for a long time. Well, a local lawyer purchased the house several years ago and started remodeling it. It's right down the road. And do you remember for my birthday? Yeah, for my birthday, remember when I hurt my ribs in the bus? I was going to see a lawyer because I was hurt really bad. I bruised my ribs real bad, and thank God I recovered, but it's a long story. I don't want to get into that. But I went to talk to the lawyer to see what my options were. And we went back and forth there several times, and I always got a real funny feeling about it because it's an old 2-story house, just scary. It's just an old historic, like a Victorian style home. You know where I'm talking about, I bet. I have to tell you.
1800s.
Yes, yeah, another old house. And Brett is very curious, and he's very brave. He's way braver than me. So I was downstairs with the secretary. The lawyer wasn't there. I had to go drop some paper off, and we had to wait because she had someone else in there. So Brett, it had it upstairs, of course, and there were pictures up there as you go up the stairs talking about the house and the history of the home and who built it, who owned it, da 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 da. It has all the history in there. So that in itself kind of puts you on edge, right? Because you see that it's from whenever. Well, Bonilla Law Firm. Thank you, Brett. I have got the worst memory. So Brett went up the stairs slowly, he goes, I'm going to go check it out upstairs. And I'm like, well, you go ahead, because I got a bad feeling about the house anyway. I had heebie-jeebies, and I just didn't want to move. I was scared already. And he goes up the stairs, and he's barely getting up there, and we hear a noise. And he comes back down the stairs really fast. Well, up there they had a, yeah, it was pretty scary, because up there they had an old antique glass case, display case, like a china cabinet, like the old types, like old oak or something like that. And it had a glass front, and they had dolls in it, the Victorian, the old dolls. And we could hear it with our own ears before he came back down the stairs. And he said as soon as he got up there, the curio cabinet, I call it a curio cabinet, that's what we called them, was shaking, just shaking. And we could hear it. And that's right down the road. And I've wanted to go back ever since, but I never have. And the girl that was working there, I knew her from the store, of course. And Brett said, the cabinet upstairs was just moving, and he's freaked out. And she goes, oh, we hear stuff like that all the time. That's why I tell everybody I will never be here by myself. There's always noises and voices, because it was loud where we heard it downstairs. So I hope I told it right, and it scared Brett, and it scared us. So that's another place that's definitely haunted.
That
it
is insane. Oh, I found it. The house that I went to in Washington. It's in Port Gamble, Washington.
Port Gamble.
It's called, yes, the Walker Ames house. This house has been on an episode of My Ghost Story.
Oh.
It's been on it, like a few paranormal investigators have gone to that place to investigate it. So it's like there's so much history in that house, and just you can just tell walking up to the house. You can feel it.
That's how I felt with that house. Even right down the street, I felt, you just feel it. You're like, oh, I got a bad feeling about this place. You just get like a goosebumps. Or
one day you need to go up there and go to that house. You can just walking outside.
I need to go back, but it's literally right down the road.
We should plan trips every year. Go visit a place.
So let's see what Donovan says. December 4th, Live Oak County Courthouse Centennial Celebration. Tours of the courthouse. The old jail is to be demolished, is full of spirits. Okay, I wonder, Donovan.
December 4th.
That's the day after Brett's birthday. We went and toured a jail, but I think it was in, not Goliad.
Gonzales?
Gonzales. It was a jail in Gonzales. Talk about scary. They actually had an old gallows upstairs. Have you been there?
No, but Hannah, who was on here earlier, she actually just posted on her Snapchat story this weekend that she was at the jail.
It is so scary. That's a place to go.
Super creepy.
The jail in Gonzales. Mm-hmm. It is terrifying. We went right before Penny. Penny had a lot of issues. My sister, that not too long before she passed, but she was having trouble climbing stairs. But we went, but they had the top blocked off, which was really weird. We wanted to go up there and see the top, but they wouldn't let anybody up there. But when we went the first time before, years ago, well, a year ago, 2 years ago, maybe, I don't even remember, from that time. My sense of timing is all off. Brett went up there, and we were taking pictures in the jail cell and at the gallows. And when he took a picture, he was standing right under where the rope is. And I was like, Brett, please do not do that. I just had a very bad feeling. And I took pictures, and you can see, I can't remember, I don't know where they are, of course, but I think it was a shadow around him. It looked really weird, and there was nobody up there when we were up there. So that place, you got creepy. The heebie-jeebie. You just got a really bad fit. We walked through the cells, and we were taking pictures. I'm surprised they let us take our phones. But you just got to, and then there were some rooms in there that had like hash marks, like how long they had been there. And if you want to get, it's really weird. It's a good place to go investigate, just to check it out. But of course, we were there during the day.
Insane.
Yeah, you should go check it out, Liliana. You're braver than me.
I'm really not. I am such a chicken.
Paul's going to tell his Lechusa story.
Then I gotta go.
Oh, wait a minute. Carolyn, there's someone next to you. La. You got to go already?
It's Paul. It's Paul.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I have a fee in Corpus at 6:30.
Oh, well, shoot, Paul, I didn't know that.
I have injections in my back.
Oh, honey. Oh, you poor baby. I did not know that.
Live.
Okay.
Okay, so let me go ahead and just kick this off real fast so that I can get out of here.
Okay.
The Lechusa.
I'm going to make it bigger. They can't see it bigger, but I can.
Yeah, the Lechusa.
Oh, this is the story Paul's been waiting to tell us more than any of them.
So big one.
There's many ideas of what the Lechusa is.
Yes.
It's either an owl that has her spirit inside. I mean, a woman, a witch, a bruja that has her spirit inside the owl, or it's a witch who can transform herself into an owl. And the
Either way, that don't sound too good.
no,
Yeah.
the legend basically that I heard, I'm not sure if it's 100%. I've heard it from many different people. Is if an old woman comes to your house and asks for sugar, you give her the sugar. If you deny her sugar, then she'll come back at night as a lechusa
Oh my gosh.
to get you.
I didn't know about that. You should
Yeah.
share that
I'm
with
just
me.
gonna have
Nobody's
cups
ever
of
asked for
sugar outside my house. Take it.
Yeah, just leave it out there. Here, this is for you.
So, but anyway, my story doesn't involve that. My other story involves the whistling. We were told that if you whistle 3 times at midnight, then the lechusa comes to you. And of course, being teenage boys, it was me, my 2 brothers, and my best friend Robert Mendoza. We decided, hey, we're gonna call the lechusa, and we go outside. We live, of course, we live on country. This is Charco Road.
Because your family's been out there forever.
Oh yeah. So we go out on Charco Road, and outside the front yard, pitch dark, and there's just the moon, and we decide, okay, we're gonna whistle. So we whistle twice. We chicken out, and then my brother Mike goes to the road, which is about 300 or 400 feet. No, probably 200 feet to the road, and he whistles the 3rd time.
So you're talking about just a regular whistle?
Just a regular.
Okay, don't do it.
Just
scare
whistling.
me.
Don't
Just
do
whistle.
it. Don't
So
do it. Just
he whistles the 3rd
I'm thinking
time.
one of those really loud. It's just a
And
regular whistle.
We're
Okay.
in the front yard off the porch. My brother's at the road, and he whistles the 3rd time, and all of a sudden, wind comes out of nowhere. I mean, because it was a still night.
Yeah.
So when the trees start moving, and then you hear this screeching, and you look up in the sky, and you see this shadow. I saw this huge shadow of a bird in the sky. Freaked us out. We all ran in the house. Of course, we locked the door. My brother's still running.
You locked him
We
out.
locked him out of the house, and finally let him in. So we get around this thing, and then we're all, of course, we're all scared. Because we're all like, holy crap. Because my dad's always warned me, and I said it before. I'm gonna say it again. Don't mess with stuff you don't know nothing about.
Sounds like your dad.
So
Wise man.
we're.
But do you listen? No.
No. So we get around. How do I have life lessons if I don't do it
That's
myself?
true. That is true.
So we sit around in the circle, and the first thing you think of is like, say because I'm not Catholic. My best friend Robert, he was Catholic.
Right, right.
So you say 7 prayers. The 7 prayers are.
yes,
Hail
I know
Mary.
exactly what you're
Hail
talking
Marys?
about.
Yeah.
So was
Because
your friend Robert there with you too?
Huh?
So how many people? You and
It
your
was
brothers
me,
and Robert?
Robert, and my 2 brothers.
Oh my God.
that is
Okay.
the prayer they use to catch them. The prayer of the 7 truths.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, see, I don't know. Okay.
But he was saying the Hail Mary, so he was doing this whole Hail Mary thing, and
I bet he was saying a lot of them.
and we're like, oh God, please, oh please, 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 please. We're so stupid.
You were so scared.
And all of a sudden, something hit, because we live in a trailer house, well, single wide. Something hits the house so hard that the house shakes. The whole house shakes.
Oh my God.
And
I've heard this before, but hearing it again gives me
Yeah,
creeps every
and-
time.
I'm watching
It was-
cartoons after this.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. Yeah, again.
and
Yeah.
it was so scary for us. It was so real that we just called something, and something came, and it hit the house, and it was so loud. My parents woke up.
Whoa.
And they actually, because they lived down, they were in their room, which is down the hallway.
They lived.
They,
I mean, they slept.
yeah, and they come out of the room, and they were like, "What was that?"
Sound like an
And then
explosion or
all
something. Huh?
4 of us just attacked my dad. We're like, "We called the lechusa." He goes, "You did what?" He goes, "We called the lechusa, and it hit the house." And he's like, "Boy, I done told you, don't mess with stuff you don't know about."
It was too late.
And
That is
he was
insane.
going on because my dad believes in this stuff. And
Yeah.
he does the palm reading and all kinds of.
Really?
Oh yeah, he does palm reading.
Wow, I wouldn't think your dad is that.
Yeah,
Okay.
he doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
He'll look at you. He'll look at your palm. Anyway, that's beside the point.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I should have had more in-depth conversations with your dad.
Yeah,
I guess.
he's a very interesting man.
Wow.
I'd love to
So-
meet him.
Yeah, I know.
After that, everybody loves my dad.
Yeah.
and everybody says I'm just like you because of the stuff that I believe and
Yeah.
stuff that I do. Yeah.
Well, you got it from him, I'm sure.
So after that happened, the next day we went in there and we saw claw marks on our back porch.
Come on.
No, huge 3 claw marks that were scratched into the back of the porch, and we're like, wow. And that solidified the idea that there are things out there that we don't know about.
Yeah.
And it's not just a scientific community. There's stuff that goes on because you have the brujas, which is the witches in from Mexico.
Me.
You?
Oh. I have been told, like, I have gone to people's houses where they're like, get out. Like, I know what you do. And my mom told me that I actually come from, like, my family does witchcraft. I didn't know that until my mom told me. But apparently it runs in the family. That's why sometimes I get these energies and I feel a lot of things people don't feel. Yeah. So it runs in the family.
Yeah,
like, thank you, family.
And there's a lot of people that actually can sense that bloodline in you. But yeah, so after that experience, I do not like to be outside at midnight.
He won't.
If I'm outside drinking and I find out it's I am back in the house and I am letting y'all just chill out, do whatever. I've just recently started getting comfortable where I can sit on my front porch and actually hang out a little bit as long as there's like a big crowd of people. Because ever since we've called it, that thing's been hunting me. I swear this thing's been hunting me.
Here is a fun fact. And I would love to hang out with you at midnight outside for this fact that I know. Let me tell you something. When my mom told me these whole stories, as far as she even told me the same thing, she said, don't ever be out at midnight because that's when everybody's doing all their little spells and everything's up in the air. Lechuzas, you name it, everything's in the air at midnight. And you don't want something to hit you that was intended for somebody else. So she's like, never be out at midnight or never let your head be exposed at midnight. That's like a thing.
Yeah.
Really?
Another thing, when you said that about the prayer of the 7 truths, that is actually the prayer that people use to hunt and trap them.
Yeah.
What you do is you grab a rope.
Yep. There you go.
And every time you name a truth, you tie a knot.
Yep.
And then you say it backwards and you're tying the knots backwards, like you're going back down the rope. And that my grandfather, my mom's dad, was the one that told me that.
Yeah.
That is how you trap them.
And
wow.
I've also heard
how you trap them.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
You can catch. That is how you catch a lechuza or a witch. And he told me the story about when he actually caught one. And he said, we heard something like literally fall down the trees whenever we were done. He said, but you don't approach them at night because they can be conniving. They can literally manipulate you and like hypnotize you to do whatever they want. So he's like, we left it alone. The next morning, we go back out there where we heard it fall. And there was a naked woman that looked like she was like literally tied up. And they told her, we will let you live. Just don't ever step foot or be anywhere near our property. Never came back. Let her go.
Wow.
Yeah, that I've heard a lot of stories like that. It was funny whenever she was talking about them hunting the lechuzas. They would actually use the base of the rope, and they put it on the ground. And they do the 7 truths.
It's like the prayer of the 7 truths.
Yeah.
It's like the world's 7 truths, something like that.
And whenever a lechuza would step in that knot or that rope, it would actually capture them. And then what they would do is they'd walk up, and this is what I heard from somebody else that her grandfather used to hunt them, and they would take the tongue and pull the tongue out and cut the tongue out, and then kill them.
Mm-hmm. They would have to decapitate them. They would literally have to cut their heads off.
Oh my God.
To kill them.
Wow.
And my grandfather himself has told me so many stories about how him and his brothers used to hunt witches. Literally like that.
Yeah. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff. And a lot of people probably think that, oh, y'all are just crazy. It's like, no, there's things out there that's not in the mainstream. And there's a reason why it's not in the mainstream. It's because they don't want you to know about it. And it's not the government. It's the people who practice this stuff don't want it out there to be like that.
Well, y'all know that did I tell y'all last week about Brett's distant cousin? great 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 cousin or somebody. It's all you gotta do is Google the name. Was the last male witch executed in Salem?
Yeah, I think
Burned at a stake.
Wow.
Yeah, his aunt sent us something one time, and we Googled it. Let me see if what is Brett. If you're on here, tell me his first name. I want to say Philip Wardwell, but I'm not sure on that. He's gonna hopefully he'll hear.
I have a shirt that I want to get made that says, "We are the daughters of the witches you could not burn."
Oh jeez! Wow,
That
that's
is like amazing.
Samuel.
Samuel.
Samuel Wardwell, Wardwell. So you can Google it. Google it. You're probably faster at it than I am. Yeah, he was the last male witch burned. I think in Salem. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So Brett has witches in his family too, and so do I. We're just from all of us are just from a bunch of witches.
It's so
Oh
funny.
my gosh, that's crazy. I googled Samuel Wardwell. It literally the first thing that popped up. Samuel Wardwell Salem witch trials.
Yeah, I told you. It's the first thing. And his aunt sent me him the information with a picture and all that. And we saw a this was interesting. You know that show Who Do You Think You Are? They had on I don't know, one of the TV shows where they would track their lineage or their heritage or whatever.
Yeah.
It was some actor on there. Brett remembers his name, and they were doing a like a genealogy. It's a show where they check your genealogy, and ends up this actor. It was really weird because we couldn't believe it. Somebody had told him about it, so we went back and found the show. I wish I could remember what it is. But this actor is Samuel Wardwell. There's a monument for him in Salem. Yeah, there is. This actor's family is a direct descendant to the Wardwells, to us. So they're all related to us. And there's a bench
Wow.
there in Salem that has the name Wardwell on it. So it's pretty.
Well, I've always
it was
wanted to
pretty
go.
cool.
I've always wanted
Yeah.
to go there.
Yeah, it was a really interesting show. If Brett's on here, maybe he remembers. I know he's on here. Maybe he can remember what show. I know it was Who Do You Think You Are, the actor's name. We can't. He was a fairly famous guy. Not he wasn't like a big movie star, but he was in a lot of shows that people know.
And it's funny you're
Like
talking about
supporting
witches
actor.
and stuff. And my daughter has actually been experiencing a lot of bad stuff that's been happening to her.
Really?
And I've told her already because she's already had 2 dogs die. Just has bad luck. And I told her, I said, who did you make mad?
Somebody put a curse.
And I said, who did you make mad? I mean, all this bad stuff keeps happening. And she's like, oh, I don't know. I was like, Callie, you have a curse on you. Somebody did something to you. You need to go find a brua or something.
She just needs a cleanse. Is what it is.
Yeah,
she
that's
just
what
needs
they
a
do.
cleanse and a protection spell.
Yeah,
I believe that
that's
because you
that's-
see
And
it.
you know what's crazy? One thing that my mom, it's insane to me, is one thing that my mom, like, when I got married and moved out when I turned 18, which is like tradition in Mexican families, of course, she literally gave me a list. Like, I got spells. My mom gifted me spells for my, like, wedding gift.
Wow, maybe you should get a protection spell to give to
Well,
help.
I
with your
already know.
daughter.
It's weird because a lot of this stuff felt like common sense to me, and she's like, it's not. It's just because your intuition's already involved in this. It's like in your bloodline. But
Yeah.
I know some protection spells. I know, like, girl, it's weird. It's weird.
Wow, that's crazy.
And
Yeah,
I've never really practiced
my
it.
my brother really got into that.
Mm.
But I guess I was always scared to get too much into it because I was afraid. I think a lot of it is fear personally because I know it's in my my family line for sure, too. But because of my mom
I
telling
think
me
it's in
stories.
crystals. Honestly.
Yeah, it probably is. But a lot of it, I think we're just afraid. We just don't want to know what capabilities we have, or we
I
can
have
open
been
that-
starting
open the
to get
door.
more. I have been trying to get more in tune with myself. And it's crazy because I really do feel like I've been getting more in tune with my own energy that
Yeah.
I literally prevented myself from getting sick to the point of, like, possibly dying. I literally saved myself from going septic.
Wow.
Literally. Insane. 2 days ago. Insane. Actually, yesterday.
Really?
Yeah. So I feel like I've been more in tune with my body. So I'm not saying I'm welcoming, like, spirits or anything, but I'm accepting things as they come. And I'm trying to be okay with it. Like, this is my life. This is normal.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I like that.
That's why, like, if I'm ever outside, and I've been in situations where I feel like I'm gonna get attacked by some negative energy, and I will make my energy stronger than theirs and not challenge it, but make it known, like, you are not messing with your average person here.
Yeah, to where you get it deter it before it even starts. Yeah,
Yeah.
Brett wanted me to tell about. Did I tell about this last week? No. So after my grandfather died, he had an old trunk that he kept that it was in his closet forever, ever since I can remember. He died back in, oh my gosh, I don't even know. I want to say 88. I think 88, something like that. Long time ago. Long time ago. But he had an old trunk in his closet, and when he died, my uncle, who I never saw, my mom's brother, we never saw when we were kids, but it had been 40 years since we had seen him, to be honest. He lives in California. He came down and he took the trunk and took all the possessions out of the trunk. Well, before he did, my brother and my mom, I guess because he was going through the stuff, saw it with their own eyes, and my sister Penny. There was a photo in there of women up in a tree, literally all in black, like black cloaks. And down below them was an actual cauldron. Like they were in the tree and there was an actual cauldron.
Wow.
And it's just them hanging on the limbs, just chilling out, like, and then the cauldron. So we don't know. My uncle took the pictures. I'm sure he's probably not even alive by now. It's been so many years ago. But I would love to get that stuff back because my grandpa had some weird stuff. He said that he, when he was in the war, he had a violin or a fiddle that was made out of special wood. And he said that the gods protected him when he was in the war. We always said Grandpa was crazy, but that they presented him with this special wood and he was to build this violin. And it was gorgeous, let me tell you. It had a hand carved, just gorgeous. Of course, my uncle took that too. But my grandpa used to tell me stories about a god by the name of Balboa or Balbata, I don't know if we have saying it right, that presented him with this and protected him. And he said that's where we got our gifts from this god when he was in the service, that he gave it to him to pass on to us, and it was up to us to find out what our gift was. So it's pretty crazy. But the violin, my uncle got that. He got all that stuff. And we've talked about that the last time we were all together. We'll never see it again. No telling what happened to it. I'm sure it's in a closet or a storage building somewhere. But my grandpa had the violin out. And you should have seen it, really. It was beautiful. He hand carved it from this wood, a violin. It was beautiful. But he said it was from some special wood off this island when he was in the, where would World War II be?
You'd either be in the Pacific or you'd be in Germany.
No, he was in the Pacific. I know that. It wasn't Germany.
In the Pacific?
Yeah, I don't know.
You'd
some
be in
island.
Japan.
It was some island. Or could it have been World War II? World War I? Because he was old.
It could have been World War One.
Maybe it was World War, because I know it was an island. I was a kid. He used to always tell the stories. And he said they were coming to kill him, and all of a sudden this guy, this spirit appeared between him and the people that were coming to him and said, "Stop, he is not to be killed." I don't know. But
that sounds like a book.
It does. It was really
take notes.
Yeah, but his name was, and I've actually looked it up, and there is a god, what they believe is a god, Balboa, because it was really interesting to me. Years and years after he passed away, I thought, well, is there really something to that? Because why would he go through all that? Honestly, it was all, and he would light candles every night. I think he was a witch. I really do. He would light candles every night in the den, in his little room. He had his little room. Nobody hardly went in there, and he was just strange. But maybe that's what he was doing. Maybe he was doing, who am I? Maybe he was doing satanic rituals. I really don't know. That's how weird he was. But he did make that, and it's almost like it was an offering. But I don't know what happened to it. I don't know what happened to the picture, but I know everybody there swore. Of course, I never got to see it with my own eyes, So
well, here's a fun fact for next week. I'm actually this weekend. I grew up in Brazoria County, and in West Columbia, there's a place. It's an old plantation, like slave plantation, Varner Hogg. Fun fact, before you go, Paul, I have to share this story because this was when my little brother got married earlier this year, I believe. I don't remember. I lost track of time.
Oh, girl, I can't remember anything.
But no, it was November of last year. My little brother got married. Well, he got married on this plantation, which I thought was cool because it was an interracial relationship. So I was like, that's a really good FU to like the slave owners back in the
Yeah,
day
yeah,
to get
for real.
married on a plantation.
Wow, yeah,
And
that is.
they have a cottage there that we actually stayed in for the bachelorette party.
Oh, I don't know if I'd want to do that, but go ahead.
And well, it was remodeled and it's so pretty, but it, oh my gosh, you can tell like it creaks. The stairs is like it's creepy. Well, we were telling stories and whatever, and there's actually a book called Ghosts Along the Brazos, and they hold a Ghosts Along the Brazos storytelling at Varner Hogg, which they're doing this weekend, and I'll be there for that.
Oh, cool.
So when we stayed at the cottage, we noticed that there was a handprint on the door, but it looked like a child's handprint, like a little handprint on the door. And it looks like those French doors, like that's what it looks like. Well, we tried to wipe it and I was like, this looks like it's on the outside. They opened the door, sprayed it. It was in between both of the glasses.
Wow.
But it was not there before. So it was like crazy. We were all like, oh my gosh, there's a ghost in the house. It was crazy.
Well, I wouldn't doubt it. What you need to do is try to sneak, if you go to that thing, try to sneak your phone out and use your voice recorder and see if you can record one of the stories.
Well, her mom, my sister-in-law's mom, is the event planner, the event like coordinator for the plantation. So we get tours, we get like, you name it, we go out there. And there's a sacred tree that is where they would actually hang the slaves.
Oh,
I
wow.
have not been there. I have not made it to the sacred. I've been to Varner Hogg so many times. That's actually where people take their prom pictures. And you can feel energies. You can tell there was stuff in there. You can actually take a tour of the whole place, go inside the mansions and stuff. And you can see, like, go through the whole, it's like a museum, literally like a walk-through museum.
Oh, wow.
And I've never made it to the sacred tree.
I don't know if I'd want to go there either. I know we went out.
would.
Really? We went out to the
I love history.
Goliad,
Stuff like that's
where they
awesome.
have the,
You should. That is literally like the cradle of Texas.
yeah.
Like Brazoria County is the cradle of Texas. And Varner Hogg is a must if you're in that area. Just
Well,
because of the
where's
history
that?
and
Because I'm from Waco originally. I'm thinking of Brazos.
no,
That's
West Columbia, Texas. That's Brazoria County. Brazos County is up that way.
Okay. I'd have to
Brazoria
look it up.
County is like towards like South Houston down there.
Oh, okay.
But it's like
Completely
3.5 hours from here.
Wow.
It's so worth. I have literally taken day trips over there.
Wow.
I
Well,
love
make
it.
sure you try to record it or get some good stories for us to bring
I
back.
will. I tagged Faith and Mandy, my sister-in-law and her mom. They could probably tell you stuff. Mandy works there, so I can imagine she's got some stories about that place. But I'm definitely gonna this weekend. I'm gonna get some stories for y'all next Wednesday.
Yeah, that'd be good. Hey, I just want to ask, do we have any of our listeners or viewers on right now that have any stories they'd like to share with us? Because I know it's getting late. Paul is going to have to go. I didn't realize you had a procedure, Paul. Our thoughts and prayers are with you, hon.
Yes.
Yeah, I get poked in the back 6 times.
Oh, you poor baby.
I'm going under tomorrow.
But I know it helps, but still.
Yeah. Yeah, because I just found out that I had a torn disc in my lower back and 2 bulging discs. So,
oh my God.
that explains why
Someone
I've been.
wants to say hello.
Oh, the kitty.
Oh.
Where's his costume?
Oh, he
What
took
happened
it
to
off.
Why
I
did we
took it
turn
off because he was getting uncomfortable.
That's weird.
Oh, wow.
He said he's
That is
leaving, but he
weird.
disappeared. Hold on. That's strange.
Somebody
that is
didn't want
strange.
me to go.
That is really strange. Someone doesn't want you to go, Paul.
Your network dropped bad.
Yeah, what happened to the network all of a sudden?
I don't know. You can hear us though, right?
I can hear you guys, but I can't see y'all.
That is so strange. All of a sudden, my network connection dropped.
And that was me earlier twice.
That is weird, honestly. The thing is right there. How can we go from full to none?
Yeah. Well, just keep talking, I guess, and
See if it comes back.
everybody gets to look at her.
That's fine. Do we have anybody left on here? I want to see if this is working. Brett, can you try to say something so I can make sure that the comments are working still? We'll probably cut it out early tonight. I got the heebie-jeebies already. That's weird. How could it go to 1 bar? Right?
Oh.
Paul, Somebody don't want you to leave.
So they can hear you still. So yeah.
Oh,
that's
hi.
working.
Okay, yeah, I can see your comments,
Oh,
Lily.
yeah, Lily, yeah.
Yeah,
know,
you're
that's
on
weird.
here. I can hear you. You're just not. I can't see you.
Wait for the network to come back up.
Yeah, I'll just
That's
wait
weird.
a little bit.
That's strange.
It is.
I say, okay, I'm leaving, and
As soon as he said that, the network dropped, like, because it was what, 6 bars? Now it's 1.
Well, you are followed by ghosts. I mean,
Yeah, that's
they're like,
probably
no,
what
we
it
want you to talk about us.
was. Yeah, talk about us. Talk about us.
Like this
Well,
is,
guys,
I
I
have
guess-
not gotten this much attention, and you just want to leave Paul. What is this?
I know, that's crazy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I guess Paul has to leave, even
Yes,
though
I
y'all
do.
can't see us.
I'm gonna go
So
eat some pizza.
strange. I'm still right here. Yep.
And I have,
So,
I have to
Donovan,
fast.
can you still? Oh, you have to fast?
Yes, I can't eat after midnight.
Oh,
so
you better eat something good then.
I'm a gremlin. I can't
You're
eat
gonna
after
be
midnight.
starving. Oh God, like me.
Don't
So
be
I
out at
still have
midnight.
one
Make
more.
sure you
That
go
is
home.
So weird. All right, Paul.
Well, it
thank
was
you,
nice
babe.
talking to you, Liliana. Everybody,
Likewise.
Bye,
I'll
Paul.
see y'all
Good
later.
luck tomorrow. Oh, my arm still hurts so bad I can't
Alrighty.
even hug you.
bye.
Bye, hun. I don't know how long I'm gonna stay up by myself. Not much longer. I'm a big chicken, and now I don't have a. That is so weird.
That is
So y'all can still hear me, okay? Can you still hear me?
I can on my
You can hear
phone.
me? Okay. Donovan, are you able to hear me still? Okay, you can still hear me. It's so weird. It literally dropped from. Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, I like your little ghost thing. That's how I feel. Okay, well, y'all know what I look like. I'm going to turn this off again and try it again.
Hi guys. It's just me. Where'd you go, Carolyn?
Okay, well, okay,
No.
everybody can hear me. Hey, Jennifer, how are you doing? So, Liliana, we got a little bit more time. We could cut out a little early. Do you have any more stories, or do you think we should cut it out?
I had one left that was kind of funny. So I was talking to
Bye, Paul. Sorry.
I was talking to my second husband, just having a quick conversation, long story short.
Hold on, guys.
He asked me,
That's so weird.
Yeah.
It still won't come on the
Yeah,
video.
because
Yeah, that is weird.
Right now, he can hear everything you're saying. It's just no video.
Huh.
And he goes, "That's so weird. You said you're gonna leave," and he went, "Boop."
Literally, as soon as you said that. Somebody
yeah,
don't want Paul to leave. I'm sorry, guys.
no
And now you
kidding.
can't see me, so you don't know if anybody attacking me. Tell Brett to come in here with me, even though
No
nobody can see
kidding.
me. Okay, go
No
ahead,
kidding.
Liliana.
No, I got asked if I was doing witchcraft on him, and I was like, no, why? And he said, because the like, when did he say? Yesterday or like a few days ago? I don't remember exactly the day. But
Bye.
he said, I was asleep and my TV just turned on at midnight. Literally, like at midnight, my TV just turned on in the living room. I was like,
Oh,
nope, that's someone else doing it. I was like, I'm not wasting my magic on you.
Yeah, well, we've had that happen here in the house, and it doesn't necessarily come. We used to leave the TV on all the time in the living room, honestly. And we'd be asleep, sound asleep, and all of a sudden the TV would come on full volume. It will scare the crap. And there's no
That's
way to do
scary.
that without the remote. Yeah, I still don't have a video. Brett's in here with me.
Wow.
I guess the spirits didn't like Paul leaving or whatever. That's so weird. It went
Yeah,
from.
they were upset.
Let me show. See, Brett, it went from all the way up to 1.
Wow.
So strange. So yeah, that happened 2 times with the volume on the TV? No more than that.
Yeah.
Especially if I say I need to get up early in the morning, I'm afraid I won't hear the alarm. Every time I did that, right? The
That
TV
is
would-
probably a ghost just trying to help you out. I don't know what time, but midnight's
No,
the only
really.
time that I'm allowed to do
And
stuff. So
Remember, it's
I would
always
make sure
6
she's
or
awake.
7 a.m. every time. I'm not kidding. It's the weirdest thing. I wish you could see my face. This is weird talking to you. You can't see me. But yeah, it would always be 6 or 7 a.m. on the dot. It's the weirdest thing. And I always say, well, they knew I needed to get up early. And if I say it out loud, I need to get up early. Right, Brett?
See, and I have had that happen to me, but I don't hear alarms. I just wake up like at the time that I need to wake up.
Really? Well, that was weird.
That's
I
crazy
don't know
to
what that
me.
was. Anyway,
Or there have been
Yeah,
times that I forget to turn on my alarm, and when I need to wake up early, I naturally wake up early. I'm like, I don't know if that's my body waking up when I need to, or if like someone's actually trying to help me. What are you
I don't know.
doing?
I keep checking this to see if it's going to work. We're testing it, but it's still.
No.
It's weird how our.
Get no
Our,
visuals.
Yeah, it's really weird. It really is because I just don't understand how that could happen to you.
I know.
We went from 6 all the
It's
way.
Paul's
full
fault.
bars. Liliana. I'm not kidding. Full bars.
I
for
believe
1 bar.
you. That's just
And
funny that it was when he said, "I'm
as soon as
leaving."
he
That
said it, yeah, and it's weird that it's working fine for the voice, but not for the video. Don't you think that's strange? Unless there's just not enough power for the video. Hi guys, let me see if I can find out who's on here. Let me minimize this. So I am still here, guys. For some reason, as soon as Paul said he needs to leave, we experienced a malfunction. We went from full bars of what would it be, internet, to 1 bar. 1 bar. And as soon as he said I gotta leave, our video disappeared, honestly. So I don't know. What are y'all's thoughts on that? Anybody got any feelings on that? Where are you going, Liliana? You leave me. Brett's in here with me right now because Paul just left. Paul just left, so I'm too scared to be in here by myself. I'm not experiencing any weird feelings, though, are you? We're not experiencing any weird feelings. Did you hear something, Liliana, or something behind you?
no, my cat's probably hungry, so
Oh, okay.
he's meowing for me to open the door for him.
Yeah. So I guess we're going to cut it short for tonight. We had a really good show, at least a couple of hours. I wanted to go till 10, but it's weird that we don't want to give all of our stories away. So Liliana, my plan, good Lord willing, I don't want to say I will definitely be back on Monday. My plan is to be back at the radio station on Monday. So hopefully we'll be doing more stories then. Maybe you can join us Facebook Live, or I don't know, I'll figure it out. But guys, I really would like for y'all to join us back this same channel on Monday. Remember, we're on Facebook Live and YouTube Live for Carolyn. Well, excuse me, I'm sorry. Carolyn's Corner is only on Facebook Live because the internet is not good enough to do both. I wish it was. But we'll be back here, good Lord willing, on Wednesday, next Wednesday at 7 o'clock. So we'll continue our discussion on the paranormal and anything else that we can come up with that's just unexplained phenomenon.
Like this.
Like this. That's pretty weird, I got to say.
And anyone, y'all are more than welcome to, for anybody like listening, to gather your own stories to share. It's always fun hearing other people's stories as well.
Yes, and I see Jennifer on here and Arlisa. If y'all have any stories, in fact, if you have anything you want to share real quick, we'll give you a few minutes because we'd love to hear from you. I'm sorry there's no video of me. That's just so strange. Like, y'all don't even know how freaked out I am by that. It's Paul's fault. As soon as he said I gotta go, I mean the instant, right, Liliana?
Yeah.
For those of you just joining us, it was instantaneous. So maybe his energy was just, I'm gone. He drained the battery. He drained the internet or something. God bless you. Somebody give y'all a few more minutes. Does anybody have a story or anything they'd like to share with us? We talked about some really cool stuff tonight. I hope y'all will join us next week. Does anyone have anything to say or add to the paranormal stories that we're telling tonight? And Liliana, do you have anything else you'd like to add? I have plenty, but I don't want to give them all.
Yeah, I have plenty too, but I think I think the last one was just getting you guys excited for when I share what I'm gonna find out this weekend.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear that. I really, really am. Let me check this one more time, the camera, because I hate to. Donovan, thank you so much. Again, God bless you, Hannah. I hope you have a great night. Thanks so much for joining us. Please pass this on to your friends and family. Like, comment, and share. No, that's something else. Hold on, I thought I did something wrong. Brett showed me.
You know what we should do? We should do like a random drawing for like a spooky basket. I love those. For people. Like, comment, and share.
Okay, hold on. I got to figure out how to get this off of here. I put something on here now. I can't get it off.
What is it?
Back arrow.
Oh, back arrow. Yeah.
I like the idea of a spooky basket.
Are you still there, Liliana?
I am still here.
Okay. Unable to access.
That is so strange.
Unable to access the camera. Weird. I'm trying it again. Hold on. Somehow it switched.
Is your camera disabled?
No, that's what I'm saying. Somehow it switched the camera off. I'm trying it one more time. I don't know. It's the strangest thing. My camera's on. 1080p Pro Stream. That's the right one. Yeah, that's the right one. You can still hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just can't see you.
Yeah, my camera's not working. I'm going to go ahead. Let's go ahead and call it a night, guys. Thanks so much for all of you joining me. And I am going to go out and go right back in. Yeah, Jennifer says sage it. I believe it. Jennifer, might need your help again. That's pretty weird. I don't feel anything in here, so who knows? All right, guys. With that being said, y'all have a great night. And I'm going to go off and go back on for a minute after I completely end the stream and see if it's going to work again. So please just bear with me. Liliana,
You
thank you
guys
so much.
Thanks, Liliana.
have a good night.
You too, baby.
Yeah.
Thank you. Take
Be
care of
careful
yourself.
on your trip.
I
Yeah,
will.
be careful on your trip. Okay, good night,
Always.
guys. Yes,
night.
we love you guys. Be careful, sweet dreams.
Sweet dreams.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye.